Hey there, and welcome to Weeb Novel Audiobook, your hub for epic fanfics, original stories, and thrilling adventures brought to life. Make sure to subscribe for regular updates and swing by my Patreon for early access and exclusive mature content. Now, sit back and enjoy the journey.
In this world, cultivators and demons are always at war. The Demon King sent some demons to disguise themselves and live in the human villages and towns. Their goal was to take care of the humans and build secret bases for the demon armies. They would continue to live in secrecy and wait for the signal from the Demon Kings before making their move. These demons that were integrated into the human communities would even enter the cultivation families and even sex with their top-notch disguise skills as spies, leaking valuable information to the Demon Kings. Therefore, the sex and cultivation families used some special methods to look for the demons every now and then. Although they were not 100% efficient, they could weed out some of the demons within the sect. However, every time they use such methods, it costs a lot. With a special talent to sense the demons within a specific range, that disciple is going to become an asset for the Green Fire sect. In this world, awakening a cultivation talent was already an achievement and a special talent that all the sects needed. It would create a commotion between the top sects. If only I can get that, I can find the night demons and turn them into my subordinates even without the help of the General Revival life cards. Currently, he didn't have a single General Revival life card but 9 demon puppets. So, Ethan thought it would be better if he could find the night demons even before they turned into puppets. I wonder whether I can get. Ethan didn't even finish his sentence before shaking his head. The Green Fire sect would completely seal off any information related to that core disciple who awakened the special talent and protect him all the time. So, there was no way that Ethan could get his hands on that special talent. Anyway, let's focus on my current plans. He was not worried much about it as he asked the young attendant, "Do you have any Dragonheart Lotus seeds?" Other than the night demon puppets, another most important item for Ethan was the Dragonheart Lotus seeds. Since he already found out the true ability of the Dragonheart Lotus plant where it could evolve the clear heart lotuses, Ethan wanted to plant more Dragonheart Lotuses. Dragonheart Lotus seeds? Let me see. The young attendant didn't answer as he went to the spirit plants section and checked the record of all the spirit plants and seeds available in the branch. "Sir, there are 6 seeds in our branch, and each seed costs 10 million spirit stones." Soon, the young attendant informed Ethan about the available quantity and the price of each seed. 6 seeds. Ethan was momentarily surprised as he thought, as expected of one of the 3 main branches of the Starlight Merchant Union. They even have 6 Dragonheart Lotus seeds. A Dragonheart Lotus is a special rank 5 spirit plant that is rare and extremely useful for Golden Core Realm cultivators and rank 5 spirit beasts. If Ethan had given one of the perfect quality Dragonheart Lotuses to Azure Flame Python, although it might not have been able to evolve, it would have directly broken through to rank 6 and even unlocked the complete Fire Dragon's bloodline in its body. In short, it has a chance of upgrading its potential. However, Ethan wanted to save the Dragonheart Lotus plants to make the stubborn Azure Serpent leaders into his friends. As for the cost of 10 million spirit stones per seed, there is no surprise in it. Even a common rank 5 cultivation resource has a minimum price of 10 million spirit stones, and since the Dragonheart Lotus is a special rank 5 spirit plant, there was no surprise that its seed cost 10 million spirit stones. I will buy all of them. But, I want a good discount. After spending 70 million spirit stones earlier, Ethan was still left with more than 80 million spirit stones. So, he had enough spirit stones to buy all the Dragonheart Lotus seeds in the branch. 50 million spirit stones. I can't go below that. This time, the young man didn't calculate much as he directly gave a discount of around 17%. If you add 120 clear heart lotus seeds, we have a deal. Ethan sensed that the young attendant was not lying. So, he added a small condition. From his prior experience, Ethan knew that a single dragon heart lotus plant could support 20 clear heart lotus plants in their evolution. Although he had 70 clear heart lotus seeds, Ethan still wanted to get them from the Starlight Merchant Union for free. Deal. The young attendant happily agreed, and soon, Ethan paid another 50 million spirit stones to receive the seeds. I can plant one dragon heart lotus plant in the small courtyard, and the remaining 5, I can plant them in the sect. Ethan carefully stored them in his vital bloom ring. Sir, do you need anything else? If someone could spend 120 million spirit stones, then he was not a normal cultivator. So, the young attendant became even more respectful towards the masked cultivator whose cultivation was impossible to see. Once he leaves, I should inform the branch manager about this masked cultivator. At the same time, he silently thought of reporting Ethan to the branch manager who was a golden core realm cultivator. Do you have any heavenly gambler fruits? Talent awakening fruits? Or other cultivation resources that increase the lifespan of the cultivator? In one of the mountain peaks of the Skicloud sect. Master, I have returned. A young cultivator in the golden core realm knelt on one knee as he reported his return to an entity that was seated in the darkness. Speak. In the next second, a pair of red eyes opened in the darkness as an eerie voice resounded in the hall. The pressure exuded by that figure in the darkness was immense. It's about Kai, the one who was expelled from our sect and successfully escaped from the assassins sent by the Master. The kneeling cultivator took a deep breath before continuing, Master, he has broken through to the Foundation establishment realm. Just as the young cultivator finished his words, the air in the hall seemed to freeze for a moment as silence engulfed the hall. Ha! Ha ha! Ha ha ha! However, in the next second, deep, eerie laughter echoed through the hall that was laced with both amusement and disbelief, sending chills down the spine of the kneeling cultivator. Not only did he successfully escape even after killing the assassin I sent to kill him, but that brat with the inferior spirit root was able to break through to the Foundation establishment realm. The figure in the darkness recalled the information about the only cultivator that escaped from his grasp. Looks like he is one of heaven's chosen cultivators who will continue to grow. The figure concluded that Kai was a heaven's chosen, shocking the golden core realm cultivator. Master, what should I do now? Shall I recruit him as Master's servant? Suppressing his shock, the young man hurriedly asked his master in the darkness about his next mission. How many times did I tell you it won't work? The figure from the darkness scoffed at the golden core realm cultivator. Should I make arrangements to turn him into a sacrifice for the master? That servant asked for the second best option. If he really is a heaven's chosen one, he will break through to the golden core realm in no time. Until then, don't make any moves. The figure in the darkness asked his servant to be patient as he continued, since he is in the Green Fire sect, we are going to meet him sooner or later. I just hope he becomes a golden core realm cultivator before that. At that time, I am going to consume his entire body and get one step closer to fulfilling my goal, Keek. Thinking about his goal, the figure in the darkness chuckled. Sorry, Master. I was short-sighted and didn't see the big picture. Realizing his master's plan, the golden core realm cultivator hurriedly apologized. It's all right. The figure in the darkness seemed to be in a good mood after learning about his prey's rapid cultivation and his status as a heaven's chosen. So, he didn't worry much about it as he excitedly spoke in his eerie voice, so far, I have consumed 6 heaven's chosen cultivators before they even fully matured. 2 are on the verge of becoming golden core realm cultivators, and once they break through, they will turn into my nourishment. All I need are 3 more heavens chosen to be merged through my methods, and I just found that one of them is in the Green Fire sect, saving me some cultivation resources for his nurturing. It leaves me with only 2 more heavens chosen. Anyway, did you find the new batch of servant disciples with the inferior spirit root and the other requirements? After he finished his lengthy thinking, the figure in the darkness asked his servant about another mission. Yes, Master. In this batch, there are exactly 112 youngsters who meet the master's requirements. The servant replied without any delay, with some excitement in his eyes. I hope at least one of them becomes a heaven's chosen. It would be good if 2 of them emerge from the batch. As long as his master's goal was fulfilled, his master would become the most powerful entity in the entire world. As his loyal servant who had been following him for centuries, his status would be elevated to the level where everyone would be beneath his feet. So of course, he was excited. Order our servants in the Green Fire sect to keep an eye on the target, and the moment he breaks through to the Golden Core realm, let me know. I will personally make the move. The figure in the darkness spoke in a serious voice, shocking the Golden Core realm servant, who hurriedly asked, "Master, there is no need for you. Idiot, just because you were able to take care of the previous targets that were nurtured in the Skycloud sect doesn't mean you can take care of this target in the Green Fire sect." Before the servant could finish his words, the master's aura erupted as he interrupted the Golden Core realm servant and continued, "As a heaven's chosen cultivator, a slight mistake will cost us so much that we might even lose our lives while killing him. Since the target is far away, I will personally make the move and consume him. Now, you can leave and report to me when there is something important." With that, the figure in the darkness stopped speaking. "Yes, Master. I will take my leave now." Despite being a peak Golden Core realm cultivator, the servant was covered in cold sweat when his master's aura erupted. Nevertheless, he quickly recovered and hurriedly left the dark hall. Master is being overly cautious. With his peak nascent soul realm cultivation, there is no need for him to make a move on a newly ascended Golden Core realm cultivator. After leaving the hall, the servant shook his head. However, he concluded, since Master said he will personally make his move, I will just wait until that brat breaks through into the Golden Core realm. In the Starlight Merchant Union, Green Fire Town. Ethan was oblivious to the fact that his old enemy, who killed Kai, had already received information about him joining the Green Fire sect. Currently, he was happily shopping in the store, buying the cultivation resources he needed. A heavenly gamble fruit is 2 million, a talent awakening fruit is 3 million, and 3 golden lifespan fruits, which can increase the lifespan of cultivators by 100 years, cost 10 million spirit stones each. The young attendant informed Ethan about the prices of the items he selected and said, "Generally, there are no discounts on consumable cultivation resources as there is always a demand for them. However, Sir can just pay 25 million for all these items." Fine. Since the young attendant was already offering a discount, Ethan didn't ask for any more and paid the spirit stones before taking those items. "Sir, please visit us again." Soon, Ethan left the Starlight Merchant Union and casually strolled through the night streets of the Green Fire Town. He intentionally took less crowded streets for a while before revealing a slight smile on his face, as expected of the Starlight Merchant Union. Even after spending 145 million spirit stones, they didn't attempt anything shady. Although he heard that the Starlight Merchant Union was known for its fairness, Ethan didn't want to blindly trust those words and tested whether he was being followed. With his current senses enhanced by the infernal dragon blood heart, nothing abnormal escaped Ethan's perception. So, he sighed in relief before entering the Green Fire realm to return to the sect. Inside the Starlight Merchant Union, next time he comes, be more respectful to him and add another 10% discount for him. After Ethan left the store, an old man appeared behind the young attendant and said those words. "Branch manager, who is he? Do you know him?" Even if the branch manager didn't appear, the young attendant was already thinking of informing him about Ethan. Seeing that the branch manager personally came out of his chamber, the young attendant became curious and asked the branch manager about the rich customer he had just attended to. "This brat, looks like I have been giving him too much leeway." The old man's brows twitched slightly as he looked at the young attendant and replied, "No, I don't know him." His voice was calm, but deep inside, the branch manager was still unsettled as he continued, all I know is that he is a golden core realm cultivator and a strong one at that. The thing was, despite being a peak golden core realm cultivator, the branch manager was completely unable to sense anything from that masked customer. It was as if the man didn't exist. It was something that even a peak golden core realm cultivator couldn't do. However, he was also sure that the customer was not a nascent soul realm cultivator, a demon, or an evil cultivator, because the rank 7 formation would have already triggered. I wonder which sect or hermit tribe he belongs to. The branch manager, curious, second blood phenomena pentashade peak, green fire realm, spirit plant name, 5 elemental spirit grass grade, special rank 3 maturity period, 560 days live status, excited but tired. Maturity period, 561 days live status, excited but tired. Spirit plant name, blood spirit grass grade, rank 2 maturity period, 140 days live status, excited but tired. Spirit plant name, mutated spirit grass grade, special rank 1 maturity period, 90 days live status, excited but tired. Spirit plant name, spirit grass grade, special rank 1 maturity period, 45 days live status, excited but tired. Phew, finally, I completed the daily nurturing of all the spirit plants in my big courtyard. As soon as he returned to the Green Fire sect, the first thing Ethan did was nurture the spirit plants. For the last 5 days, he hadn't nurtured the spirit plants in his 10 plots of spirit field. However, thanks to the rich spirit essence in Pentashade Peak, they were growing at a good pace. Nevertheless, Ethan still used his nurturing skills to speed up their growth, and only after he completed the session, he heaved a sigh of relief. Let's plant the new plant seeds I just bought. Ethan walked to the spirit pond in his big courtyard and, following the procedure, he planted the Dragonheart Lotus seeds he bought from the Starlight Merchant Union. So, this spirit pond can only hold 3 Dragonheart Lotuses. After planting the 3rd Dragonheart Lotus seed, Ethan noticed the live statuses of those 3 Dragonheart Lotus plants, asking him not to plant another one. I thought I could plant all 6 Dragonheart Lotuses in this spirit pond, but I didn't expect 3 to be the limit. Since the spirit pond was 10 times bigger than the spirit spring in his small courtyard, Ethan believed he would have no problem planting all 6 Dragonheart Lotuses in the spirit pond. But, he was a bit disappointed about it and thought, anyway, I can plant another one in the small courtyard, and as for the remaining 2, I can only plant them after harvesting the others. Before I nurture them, let's give them some company. Ethan didn't start nurturing them yet. Instead, he planted 60 clear heart lotus seeds on the edges of the spirit pond. Each Dragonheart Lotus plant can form a symbiotic relationship with 20 clear heart lotus plants. Once he planted them, Ethan took out the demonic blood Bat King's corpse. Since you guys want dragon's blood, here is some nourishment for you. As a special rank 5 spirit plant, the Dragonheart Lotus likes the blood of dragons. Previously, Ethan used Fire Dragon's blood essence and Blood Dragon's blood essence to nurture the Dragonheart Lotus plant. However, right now, Ethan didn't have any dragon blood essence, but he was confident that the demonic blood Bat King's corpse was filled with blood dragon essence. Of course, Ethan had already cleansed the demonic blood Bat King's corpse with his infernal flame, burning all the demonic essence from it before entering the sect. Right now, instead of calling it a demonic blood Bat King's corpse, I should call it blood Bat King's corpse. Although it wouldn't be a problem with all the formations in his courtyard, Ethan still wanted to be careful not to attract any attention from the upper echelons of the sect, at least regarding the matter of demonic essence. It was not just the demonic blood Bat King's corpse that Ethan purified, but the remaining 9 demonic blood Beast King's corpses also. Time to feed them. Soon, Ethan made multiple cuts on different parts of the corpse and drained pure blood dragon's essence into the spirit pond. Celia, do it now. While draining the blood, Ethan gave a command to the celestial spirit koi fish that was already inside the spirit pond. Shuaye, Shuaye. Once it received the command from Ethan, the koi fish activated its ability. Celestial spring aura, dragon blood phenomena ripple in the next second, the koi fish's entire body turned blood red as the spirit pond began to surge with rippling waves of crimson light. The clear spirit water in the spirit pond turned into a deep crimson shade, filled with thick and rich blood essence. Shua, shua as the koi fish swam gracefully through the pond, its golden scales glowed faintly, increasing the richness of the pure blood essence in both the water and the air. What a powerful skill, I want to get more heavenly beasts. Looking at how easily the koi fish was able to trigger the dragon blood phenomena using its skill, Ethan could not help but want to get more heavenly beasts as his pets. Actually, the celestial spring aura was the most basic skill of the celestial spring koi fish, which could temporarily enhance the spirit essence in the spirit bodies. However, by chance, Ethan learned that the koi fish had the ability to absorb the rich blood in the spirit pond to trigger the dragon blood phenomena. This so-called dragon blood phenomena could not only help the dragon heart lotus but also the clear heart lotuses planted on the edges of the spirit pond. Swish, the dragon heart lotus seeds at the bottom of the pond rapidly devoured the pure blood dragon essence and started growing, and in no time, 3 crimson sprouts emerged from the water. It is time to assist them in their growth. After the previous dragon blood phenomena in the small courtyard, Ethan had a good idea of what he had to do, and it was to assist the spirit plants with their growth. Green pulse art flourishing spirit rain. Although there was already plenty of spirit water in the spirit pond, Ethan still used his watering technique. Time continued to pass as the clear heart lotuses also sprouted, followed by the crimson sprouts. Although there was a 2-rank difference between the two types of lotuses, it was still the dragon heart lotus that sprouted first. The reason was simple: when the dragon heart lotus was nurtured with dragon's blood, it grew at an incredible pace, like how a single drop of fire dragon blood essence reduced its maturity period by 5,000 days. And the symbiotic relationship between the dragon heart lotus plants and the clear heart lotus plants has successfully formed. When Ethan saw that each dragon heart lotus plant released pure blood essence towards their 20 clear heart lotus plants, he knew that their relationship had been established. Now, all they need is more essence. Due to their symbiotic relationship, they wouldn't get tired at all, and as long as they were provided enough cultivation resources, they could stimulate one another and mature without exhaustion. Looks like I need to go all out. Soon, Ethan sensed the dragon blood phenomena weakening and knew one corpse was not enough. So, he took out the remaining 9 purified blood beast king's corpses and drained their blood into the spirit pond from different sides while using his nurturing technique. Time continued to pass, and in a flash, 2 hours passed as the dragon blood phenomena had come to an end, as Ethan no longer had any more blood beast king's corpses. Let's see how much the dragon heart lotuses have grown after spending so many blood beast king's corpses. Ethan entered the spirit pond to check the growth of the 3 dragon heart lotuses. 204, Mass Harvesting. Heavens Harvesting Spirit Plant Name, Dragon Heart Lotus Grade, Special Rank 5 Status, Excited Maturity, 8,000 days. Maturity, 8,000 days. Maturity, 8,000 days. Their maturity period has decreased by only 2,000 days, much lower than I expected. Ethan had used the blood from the 10 blood beast king's corpses. He used his green pulse art nearly 100 times during the past 2 hours. Moreover, the celestial spring koi fish had used its ability to trigger the blood phenomena. Hence, Ethan was expecting at least 5,000 days of reduction from their maturity. So, when he saw there was only a reduction of 2,000 days, he was obviously disappointed a bit. Forget it. Since I got those corpses for free, I will be content with what I got. Ethan quickly adjusted his mindset and thought, in the future, it is better to use the blood essence to nurture these dragon heart lotuses, instead of using direct blood. Also, there are still other gains from the dragon blood phenomena. Looking at the blood red lotuses on the edges of the spirit pond, Ethan forgot his disappointment from the dragon heart lotuses. Spirit plant, blood heart lotus plant grade, special rank 4 status, Joyful maturity, 300 days. Maturity, 310 days. Maturity, 305 days. The 60 clear heart lotuses, without any surprises, had successfully evolved into the blood heart lotuses. As for their maturity, there were still 300 days, however, it was within Ethan's expectations. A special rank 4 spirit plant like the blood heart lotus plant has a maturity of 1000 days. So, after the blood phenomena, having 300 days of maturity left was not a bad thing. If I personally take care of them every day, I can harvest them within 15 days, however, I can't always stay in the sect. Ethan had many things pending outside the sect, and the reason why he returned to the sect was to nurture his spirit plants and plant these dragon heart lotus seeds and the clear heart lotus seeds. Of course, it was also to leave his young spirit pets, the mystic soil turtle, the golden-eyed silver wolf and the celestial spring coit. For them, living in a spirit-rich environment like the green fire realm is good for them as they can grow at a good pace. Ethan wanted his spirit pets to grow quickly and reach rank 4 or above. Other than the demonic blood dragonling, Ethan decided to leave his other spirit pets in the big courtyard. As for Atzerex, it has no benefit from absorbing the spirit essence. Moreover, leaving it alone in the sect. I don't want to take any risk. Almost all the young spirit beasts are always curious about everything, and since the blood dragonling is a powerful beast, Ethan thought it might create problems. Although there was a rank 5 formation around his big courtyard, from inside, it would be weak. Moreover, the blood dragonling was already a rank 4 demonic beast with insanely powerful skills. So, Ethan didn't want to take unnecessary risks. Anyway, I will stay in the sect for a few days. There were still 3 days before his godly revival ability came out of cooldown. Until then, Ethan planned to stay in the sect and nurture the spirit plants and play with the spirit beasts. Thanks to the dragon blood phenomena, I will be busy for the entire night. It was already midnight, and looking at the 10 plots of spirit fields in the distance, Ethan bitterly smiled because it was going to be a tiring night. It was because, except for the 5 elemental spirit grass whose maturity had been reduced by 100 days, all the spirit grass, mutated spirit grass and blood grass had matured. So, Ethan decided to harvest them and leave the spirit fields empty for a day before using them. Before I harvest, I should do one important thing. Ethan hurriedly sat down and activated his heavenly talent Infernal Dragon Blood Heart. Ding! The host has used his heavenly talent Infernal Dragon Blood Heart and created a special blood drop. Ding! As a side effect of condensing the special blood drop, the host's cultivation has regressed to level 9 Foundation Establishment Realm. Ding! The host has used his heavenly talent Infernal Dragon Blood Heart and created a special blood drop. Cultivation has regressed to level 1 Foundation Establishment Realm. After successfully condensing 9 Dragonheart blood drops, Ethan was ready to harvest the matured spirit plants to get more life points than usual. Ding! Successful harvest, plus 2 perfect quality spirit grass, plus 1 life point. Ding! Successful harvest, plus 2 perfect quality spirit grass, plus 1 life point. Ding! Successful harvest, plus 2 perfect quality mutated spirit grass, plus 5 life points. Ding! Successful harvest, plus 2 perfect quality mutated spirit grass, plus 5 life points. Ding! Successful harvest, plus 2 perfect quality blood spirit grass, plus 10 life points. Ding! Successful harvest, plus 2 perfect quality blood spirit grass, plus 10 life points. After 2 hours, there was no change in the life points I received from harvesting the spirit grass. However, there were changes for the mutated spirit grass and the blood spirit grass. Looking at the life points he received from the harvesting, Ethan smiled a bit. Previously, harvesting a perfect quality mutated spirit grass only gave him 3 life points, but now, he received 5 life points, whereas harvesting the blood spirit grass used to give him only 4 life points in the past, but now, it was giving him a whopping 10 life points. Among the 10 plots, the first plot was allocated to the 5 elemental spirit grass, whereas the remaining 9 plots were equally divided between the spirit grass, mutated spirit grass and the blood spirit grass. Ding, harvesting results: 1. 3 plots of spirit grass, 3,000 life points and 6,000 perfect quality spirit grass. 2. 3 plots of mutated spirit grass, 15,000 life points and 6,000 perfect quality mutated spirit grass. 3. 2 plots of blood spirit grass, 20,000 life points and 4,000 perfect quality blood spirit grass. Although these numbers paled in comparison to his available life points, Ethan was happy with these life points. Let's not harvest this last plot of blood spirit grass, instead, let's condense seeds from them. Ethan had intentionally not harvested the last plot of the spirit field that had 1,000 matured blood spirit grass because he planned to plant only blood spirit grass seeds in the 9 plots of the spirit field. As long as Ethan nurtures them daily, the blood spirit grass can be harvested in just 10 days, and even without Ethan's nurturing skills, due to the rich environment of the Green Fire realm, they could be harvested in a single month. Therefore, Ethan decided to maximize his profits by nurturing only blood spirit grass. Let's start condensing the seeds. Once he decided, Ethan no longer wasted any time as he started condensing the seeds. Ding, seed condensation was successful, 16 blood spirit grass seeds were obtained. After 2 hours, compared to harvesting, condensing took more time, and it took 2 hours to condense the seeds from the 1,000 blood spirit grass. I obtained 16,000 seeds, which was nearly double what I needed. Ethan didn't rush to plant them as he decided to give some rest to the 9 plots of the spirit field. 205, Chief Drabok and Elder Ghost. 205, Chief Drabok and Elder Ghost. During the beast extermination trial, after killing the hermit tribe members, Ethan got some special spirit seeds in addition to millions of spirit stones. One of them was the lunar orchid seed, a special rank 5 spirit seed. The 9 plots of spirit field have been allocated to the blood spirit grass. However, I have a special spirit field. Ethan already had a plan on where he should plant the lunar orchid seed. Pebble, activate your spirit domain. Ethan called the mystic soil turtle that was resting in the loose soil around the spirit pond. Tut, tut spirit domain. The turtle moved its jaws in response and activated its skill, turning the 10-meter radius around the turtle into a spirit field. This spirit field covered 75% of the land, whereas the remaining 25% was over the spirit pond. For the lunar orchid, it requires more water than the regular land-based spirit plants. So, this special spirit field is a perfect place to plant it. With such thoughts in mind, Ethan activated the earth essence refining technique to enrich the land in the spirit domain before planting it. Spirit plant, lunar orchid grade, special rank 5 status, happy, finally, heavens took pity on me. Maturity, 10,000 information, consuming a mature lunar orchid will bless the consumer with a special skill, moon blessing. The effects of the special skill depend on the quality of the lunar orchid they consume. More information, on the night of a full moon, it grows at 10 times the normal speed, and using cultivation resources filled with lunar essence will also speed up its maturity. Time for the special nurturing session. All the information about the lunar orchid, Ethan already knew. So, he was not surprised about it. Instead, he directly started his special nurturing session. Flourishing spirit rain green pulse art swish under the moonlight, and adding to Ethan's special nurturing session, the lunar orchid seed sprouted in no time. Maturity, 9,900 status, excited but tired. It was Ethan's habit to check on the spirit plants' statuses and maturity, especially the spirit plants that he was planting for the first time. In less than 30 minutes, the lunar orchid's maturity reduced by 100 days, and from its status, Ethan knew that he should stop nurturing the lunar orchid for a day now. Inducing forceful growth might decrease the quality of the plant when harvesting it, or there is a chance that it would be destroyed even before its maturity. 100 days per every nurturing session. Not bad. Ethan was satisfied with the growth rate of the lunar orchid as he continued thinking, luckily, there is a full moon in 2 days. Looks like I should extend my stay for another day. According to the information, during the full moon, the lunar orchid's growth rate would be 10 times faster than on a regular day. Hence, Ethan wanted to make use of the full moon day. The lunar orchid is planted, and the ghost bone thistle was planted on the same day I received it. The second spirit seed that Ethan got from the hermit tribe members was a ghost bone thistle seed. It is a special rank 5 spirit plant, which he had already planted in his own body, nurturing it every day. However, it requires 10,000 days to mature and would take a very long time. Every day, Ethan uses his green pulse art on himself to speed up its growth by 10 days, and after today, its information was, spirit plant, ghost bone thistle grade, special rank 5 status, happy. How can such a weak skeleton exist? I should make it stronger maturity, 9,860. It's been nearly 2 weeks since he planted it in his body. However, Ethan successfully reduced its maturity by 140 days. Right now, I am already invincible below the golden core realm, and with my cultivation techniques, I can even take care of a golden core realm cultivator. So, I can afford to wait. According to the information Ethan got, when the ghost bone thistle reaches maturity, it becomes an invisible exoskeleton that not only increases his defenses but also increases his attack power by 50%. Even without any additional cultivation resources, in just 3 years, the ghost bone thistle will mature, giving me the invisible exoskeleton. Ethan was looking forward to that special skill. The blood moon avatar lotus, let's plant it in the mystic soil domain. Other than the lunar orchid seed and the ghost bone thistle seed, Ethan also received another spirit seed, which was a special rank 6 seed. The maturity of the special rank 5 spirit seeds was already 10,000 days, whereas this blood moon avatar lotus is a special rank 6 spirit seed, whose maturity might be 20,000 or even more. Hence, Ethan thought it was better to plant this blood moon avatar lotus in the mystic soil domain once he took over the mystic soil domain. It is time to rest now. For the last couple of days, Ethan was doing one thing or another without a break. Hence, he decided to put all his worries aside and properly rest. In an unknown secret realm, a middle-aged man entered a chamber where an old man was sitting in the center of the chamber. In front of the old man, a blood orb was floating as images were flashing in it. Elder Ghost, did you find out anything about the killer of my son? Was he really killed by that brat from the primal Fang tribe? The middle-aged man asked the old man, named Ghost, about his son's last moments. He was not killed by that brat from the primal Fang tribe. Elder Ghost replied in a calm tone. I knew it, there is no way that brat can kill my son, who has 3 rank 5 blood beasts for his protection. The middle-aged man clenched his fists as he asked, who is it that killed my son? Which golden core realm cultivator from the sect dares to kill my son? He knew very well about his son and the 3 rank 5 blood beasts he always carried with him. Therefore, the middle-aged man concluded that his son was killed by some golden core realm cultivator from the sect. Chief Drabuk, you should see this. Elder Ghost shook his head at the middle-aged man's words and pushed the blood orb towards the man named Drabuk. He was killed by a participant in the trial. Chief Drabuk was shocked as he muttered, how is this possible? My son. The son of Chief Drabuk, the chief of the Bloodclaw tribe, got killed by a youngster. Chief Drabuk was none other than the father of Drake, the leader of one of the hermit tribesmen that was killed by Ethan. He was not sad about his son's death, instead, he was frustrated that his son, on whom he had so many hopes, was killed by a young man who looked no older than 20. The young chief has done a good job by summoning the blood beasts I created in his fight. Otherwise, we would have not known the truth about his killer. From the side, Elder Ghost spoke as he asked, what are you planning to do now, Chief Drabuk? 206, Secret Enclave 206, Secret Enclave what else? Whether it is my son or not, anyone who dares to kill a Bloodclaw tribesman should die along with his entire family. Chief Drabuk said in a low but deep voice filled with resentment. I have already expected this. Elder Ghost's lips curled into a cold smile upon hearing those words as he continued speaking. However, it is not going to be easy to kill that brat. Huh? Don't tell me that the Green Fire sect recruited him after the trial. For the hermit tribes, the only problem was the Green Fire sect. So, Chief Drabuk could easily guess the problem. Yes, Chief. Elder Ghost nodded his head as he spoke. Also, there is something interesting about this brat's background. Something interesting. Chief Drabuk raised his brows, waiting for Elder Ghost to continue speaking. According to the information collected by blood servants, this brat is only 16 years old and joined the Lin family and even became a special elder. What? Lin family? Chief Drabuk frowned as he was not expecting the brat who killed his son and tribesmen to be from the Lin family. Yes. The reason why things were so smooth was because of his fortuitous encounter, which was entering the mystic soil domain, the same secret domain that old Cedric Lin had once entered and changed the fate of the Lin family. Elder Ghost explained the full information he had collected on Ethan. Although he joined the sect, his parents were living in the Lin family. Why don't we return him to the pain of killing his loved ones? Once he finished sharing all the information related to Ethan, Elder Ghost asked Chief Drabuk with a cold smile. Is there a need to ask about it? He should feel the same pain I am feeling now. Chief Drabuk nodded as he thought about it and said, just kill one of his parents and keep the other one hostage to make the rat come out of the hole. Also, why don't we use this opportunity to completely erase the Lin family? I was thinking the same, Chief Drabuk, hee. Elder Ghost chuckled for a moment before asking, what about the brat from the Primal Fang tribe? He is becoming stronger much faster than we expected. Once he becomes a Golden Core Realm cultivator, it will become even more troublesome to deal with him. Elder Ghost, did you forget that there is no way he could break through to the Golden Core Realm without returning to his tribe's secret enclave? Chief Drabuk seemed not to be worried too much about Shadow Bee as he continued, but, the problem is, once we take care of that brat, we have to fight the other two hermit tribes for that treasure. Secret enclaves are similar to secret realms, however, they are much smaller but filled with rich, unique essences. Each hermit tribe lives in its own secret enclave, and without the unique essence from their respective secret enclave, they can't make a major breakthrough. Hence, Chief Drabuk was not worried much about Shadow Bee because if Shadow Bee wanted to break through to the Golden Core Realm, he had to return to the secret enclave that was owned by his Primal Fang tribe, named Primal Enclave. After destroying the Primal Fang tribe, the Primal Enclave became ownerless and the three hermit tribes took complete control over it and were waiting for Shadow Bee's return. Despite knowing that sooner or later Shadow Bee would try to sneak into the secret enclave, the hermit tribes still sent some teams to hunt down Shadow Bee because that way, they could become the sole owner of the Beast Heaven Orb. If Shadow Bee was caught in the Primal Enclave, then according to the rule, the three hermit tribes would have to fight for it, and the winner would get it. As the strongest among the current three hermit tribes, the Bloodclaw tribe had the highest chances of becoming the winner. So, Chief Drabuk was not worried too much about it. I understand, Chief Drabuk. Let's take care of the young chief's killer first. Elder Ghost nodded his head and spoke into the blood orb, Blood Servant Elvin, 12, and 13. I have a new mission for you. Pentashade Peak, Green Fire Realm. Ethan didn't know that the Bloodclaw tribe had already found out that he had killed their tribesmen and had already started countering him. Currently, he was in a deep sleep in his room, without a care in the world. Time continued to pass, and in a flash, 2 days passed by quickly. In Ethan's big courtyard, the 9 plots of spirit fields were filled with blood spirit grass that was thriving under Ethan's daily enhanced nurturing sessions. As for the 10th plot, it was filled with 5 elemental spirit grass, which was also growing properly and needed incomplete sentence. The spirit pond returned to its usual state without a trace of blood in it because the dragon heart lotus root devoured all the blood. On the edges of the spirit pond, 60 clear heart lotus plants were no longer tired and looked in a good mood as they calmed the dragon heart lotuses. The lunar orchid had only a sprout, looking withered. However, Ethan knew that during the daytime, they looked withered and became excited during the night. Pebble, the mystic soil turtle, was swimming in the spirit pond and playing with Celia, the celestial spring koi fish. Woo, woo. As for Fang, the golden-eyed silver wolf was circling around the spirit pond, trying to improve its speed as it had a powerful rival to defeat. Atzerex, the blood dragonling, was training on how to fly properly because its wings were not for show, and flight played an important role in battles. Ding, the host's godly revival ability has come out of cooldown. As Ethan was nurturing the spirit plants and watching his spirit pets playing and practicing, he received the system notification he was waiting for. Finally, it is here. Ethan smiled. However, he received another system notification that made him shake his head. Ding, if the host survives for an entire year without using the godly revival ability, he will receive the yearly survival benefits, which are 100 times better than the weekly benefits. 207, guests 207, guests previously, Ethan received weekly survival benefits 3 times, and they helped him a lot. Also, after receiving the third weekly survival benefits, Ethan already learned about the yearly survival benefits and guessed that there would be lots of good items in them. However, he didn't expect them to be 100 times better than the weekly survival benefits. However, right now, I don't have any need for that and I can't afford not to die. No matter how tempting those yearly survival benefits were, Ethan had already decided to plan a few things that would either be dangerous or require him to die. He had a mission to purify the Berserk Beast Realm and turn it into the Primordial Beast Realm before becoming its owner, along with other rewards. Purifying the demonic blood dragon's abyss is quite dangerous, and Ethan was expected to die at least a couple of times. Other than that, I have to enter the Mystic Soil domain in less than 4 months. To enter it, I have to die for sure. Since the chances of successfully completing the inheritance trial of the Mystic Soil domain were higher after becoming a Golden Core Realm cultivator, Ethan decided to enter it after he made the breakthrough. The deadline for his mission to break through to the Golden Core Realm was in 4 months, so Ethan planned to break through before that. It was because once he became the Golden Core Realm, he would receive fewer life points from harvesting the spirit plants. Anyway, after I become a Golden Core Realm cultivator, I can get the yearly survival benefits since I will be requiring lots of life points then. The system already informed him that to break through a single level in the Golden Core Realm, he required 5 million life points. Hence, Ethan thought he could peacefully farm for an entire year, avoiding any dangerous confrontations. With such thoughts in mind, Ethan had no plans for the yearly survival benefits for now as he resumed his spirit plant nurturing. After completing his nurturing session, Ethan walked to the lunar orchid, which was no longer a sprout but had turned into a tiny plant. He gently touched it and asked in a soft tone, "Tonight is a full moon. You must be excited about that, right?" Swoosh, as though responding to Ethan's words, the tiny white-colored plant excitedly swayed. Ethan didn't want to miss the 10 times the growth speed of the lunar orchid during the full moon that came only once every month. Hence, he stayed back despite his godly revival ability coming out of cooldown. Once it is done, I should go to the Berserk Beast Realm for my weekly purification. Currently, Ethan's top priority was to purify the Berserk Beast Realm because once he accomplished it, he could become the owner of the Secret Realm. As the owner of the Secret Realm, I will be the king of it, and no one could enter it without my permission. That's right. Once he became the owner, he could create some basic restrictions like ensuring no Golden Core Realm or above realm cultivators could enter it. With that, Ethan could have his own safe place before he claimed ownership of the Mystic Soil domain. At that time, I can move my parents there and slowly build my own force. In the future, when I reveal my army, the entire world will be shocked. Ethan couldn't help but become excited while thinking about becoming the lord of the cultivation world. Junior disciple Kai, are you in there? Amidst his dreams of becoming the lord of the cultivation world, someone called out while standing in front of his big courtyard. It was an inbuilt mechanism of the formation that transmitted the voice of the guests standing outside. Huh? It isn't Selena or others from the Lin family. Who are they? Ethan looked through the formation and saw two youngsters wearing the inner disciple uniform. However, Ethan had no clue about them. They have the cultivation of level 8 foundation establishment realm. Not a problem for me to take care of them if they have any ill intentions. After seeing through their cultivation, Ethan opened the formation and guided them to the guest area. In the sect, each inner disciple had lots of good things in their courtyard and didn't want outsiders to know about those things. Therefore, each courtyard had a small but well-furnished area for talking to guests they didn't know. From this guest area, the guests couldn't look into the courtyard or sense the spirit plants growing in the spirit fields. Greetings, senior disciples. Since they had joined earlier than Ethan and officially had the cultivation higher than Ethan, he had to call them senior disciples and show respect. No need for formalities, junior disciple Kai. The tall disciple waved his hand dismissively, stepping forward as he continued, we came here just to check on you as your seniors and help you with anything you need. This brat, he made another breakthrough in such a short time. The other disciple with a scar on his face was shocked to see Ethan had made another breakthrough. According to the information they had collected on Ethan, he had made a breakthrough during the beast extermination trial, reaching level 5 foundation establishment realm. And it had been only a week since the trial ended, and now, he had made another breakthrough, shocking the scar-faced disciple. It looks like junior brother has reached level 6 foundation establishment realm. Congratulations, you are one step closer to the golden core formation. Nevertheless, he suppressed his shock and congratulated Ethan. It's all thanks to the rich environment in the sect that I was able to break through. Ethan smiled and hurriedly gave the credit to the Green Fire sect's rich environment. Yeah. All newly joined inner disciples who entered the Green Fire realm usually break through 1 or 2 levels, however, you shouldn't become content. On the other hand, the tall disciple warned Ethan to not become content and reminded him that he should continue to work harder. I understand, senior brother. Ethan understood the tall disciple was genuinely concerned about him. But why? However, he didn't understand why these strangers were so concerned about him. 208, Tiny Black Seed 208, Tiny Black Seed. Is it normal for the senior brothers to be so concerned about me? Are they sent by Ronan, the elder brother of Galen? No, it is not possible. He believes that his brother's killer is already dead. Wait a second, they seem to not be acting but genuinely concerned about me. Or is it just that I am overthinking? Many thoughts went through his head, however, thanks to his infernal dragon blood heart, he was quickly calmed down. By the way, we forgot to introduce ourselves, right? Seeing that Ethan seemed to be thinking about something, the scar-faced disciple spoke as he made the introductions. My name is Payne, and this tall guy is my younger brother, Bane. We are from a small town under the Lin family just like you, junior brother Kai. Payne smiled and continued speaking, however, unlike you, we didn't join the sect through the Lin family but were personally recruited by Elder Ren on one of his general inspections. I heard about you, so, it is Brother Payne and Brother Bane. Ethan suddenly found an answer to his previous question and smiled. I heard a lot about senior brothers from Selena. If they had joined the Lin family before joining the sect, they could have joined the beast extermination trial. Since they were recruited by the sect, they had nothing to do with the Lin family. It was one of the regrets of the Lin brothers because these two had the potential to break through to the Golden Core realm or even Nascent Soul realm. So, they are genuinely caring for me. After learning their background, Ethan stopped thinking too much about it and started speaking with them. Of course, he still didn't dare to bring them into his courtyard. "Junior brother, since you seem to have a talent for spirit plants, I will give you this unknown spirit seed as our meeting gift." After speaking for a while, Payne took out a black box and gave it to Ethan. Ethan felt it wouldn't look good if he rejected the gift. So, he took the box and opened it to see a tiny black seed. Even without using his talent, just from the rich spirit fluctuations emitted from the tiny seed, Ethan knew it was a rank 5 spirit seed. "Senior brother Payne, this." Ethan was shocked and wanted to reject such a valuable gift when he barely knew the other person. "Junior brother Kai, although it is a rank 5 spirit seed, I don't know anything about it as I found it in one of my recent explorations. We have to pay the seed appraiser a large sum to get information about it, and if it turns out to be a useless rank 5 spirit seed, we will be wasting our money. Hence, we didn't want to waste our money on it when we have no talent for spirit plants, but since junior brother Kai has talent for spirit plants, you can try nurturing it." However, before Ethan could finish his words, both Payne and Bane interrupted him, telling Ethan why they were giving a rank 5 spirit seed as a gift to him. "Let's do one thing. If junior brother Kai can successfully nurture it in the future, we can sell it and equally share whatever we get in return." Seeing that Ethan was still hesitant about taking it, Bane suggested the idea of sharing. "Fine. I will do as senior brothers say." It would be a lie that Ethan didn't want to nurture this rank 5 spirit seed, however, he was not comfortable taking gifts from strangers. They might have a similar background, however, in the cultivation world, even blood brothers kill each other for rare cultivation resources, not to mention a stranger giving away something for free. Something is definitely not right with them, but let's wait and see. If it was an average 16-year-old cultivator of this world, they might not find it suspicious because of their behavior. However, Ethan was 35 years old before he transmigrated to this world. Good. Also, we hope that you don't spend too much time on spirit plants because cultivation is the only way for cultivators to become powerful. Payne said a few more encouraging words before leaving the guest area with Bane. Outside the big courtyard, "Brother Payne, this brat is very careful that even after giving a rank 5 spirit seed, he didn't bring us into the courtyard." After moving away from Ethan's courtyard, Bane scoffed in a low voice with a dark expression on his face. "Yes, he is indeed very careful as he was suspicious of our actions for the entire time." Payne agreed with his little brother before glancing back at the courtyard and smirking. "Although he was very careful for his age, it is still not enough as he took our gift with excited eyes." Payne was good at noticing the expressions of other cultivators, and he sensed that Ethan was clearly excited when he saw their gift was a rank 5 spirit seed. Also, the thousand-eyed ivy seed is very easy to nurture. All it needs is spirit essence, and the environment in the Pentashade Peak is quite good for it so that it will sprout in less than a month. The usually calm look on Payne's face was replaced with a joyful one as he knew their new mission was very easy. "Yes, brother." Bane excitedly nodded his head as he continued, "As long as he plants it and nurtures it, our mission will be completed." From start to end, they only spoke in a low voice, worrying that someone would listen to them, especially Ethan. Inside the guest area, there is something off about this seed. Ethan was still sitting in the guest area as he wanted to clear his head regarding the seed before entering the big courtyard. "Let's get some information about it." Ethan gently touched it, and his special talent triggered. Soon, the full information about the tiny black seed appeared in front of him. "Interesting, so my instincts are indeed right about them. 209, thousand-eyed ivy 209, thousand-eyed ivy heavens harvesting spirit seed, thousand-eyed ivy grade, special rank 5 information, a special rank spirit plant that is very easy to nurture as it only requires a spirit-rich environment. It is mostly used to spy on the targets. More information 1, when it sprouts, It directly releases rich spirit essence, helping the nurturer progress in his cultivation. More information too, thanks to the above effect, the nurturer will continue to nurture it happily. However, what the nurturer doesn't know is that this thousand-eyed ivy is connected to a parent spirit plant called 10,000-eyed mother ivy. More information 3. The 10,000-eyed mother ivy is a special rank 8 spirit plant that projects the surroundings of its thousand-eyed ivy for its nurturer to observe. Important information: when the thousand-eyed mother ivy matures, it opens a temporary portal connecting to the mother ivy. Interesting, so my instincts about them were indeed right. Looking at the detailed information about the thousand-eyed ivy seed in front of him, Ethan scoffed at his so-called concerned senior brothers. If it were any other cultivator, they would definitely plant it and nurture it with basic nurturing methods. Since it only requires spirit essence, it will eventually sprout. Once it sprouted, the spirit plant would release rich spirit essence, making them continue to nurture it without knowing the actual reason for the existence of the thousand-eyed ivy. The more Ethan read about it, the more shocked he became at the existence of the thousand-eyed ivy. Especially that important information: it opens a portal. When that happens, even with so many formations around the inner disciple's courtyard, the selected target will be a sitting duck for the mastermind. If not for Ethan's heavens harvesting, he would be inviting the wolf into his courtyard with his own hands. But, what are their motives for spying on me? Soon, Ethan started thinking about the motives of his two senior brothers for wanting to spy on him. As a new inner disciple, he wasn't rich enough to be worth such effort giving a special rank 5 spirit seed and waiting till it matured. Or his identity as Kai didn't offend anyone so far, except for the Feng family. However, Ethan doubted that the Feng family would go to such lengths as they have bigger rivals like the Lin family to deal with. Wait a second. Suddenly, Ethan realized something thanks to his radiant clear heart. It says that the 10,000-eyed mother ivy is a special rank 8 spirit plant. It is not something a couple of inner disciples can possess or even the Feng family could afford. Is it someone from the sect? Only a powerful elder from the Green Fire sect could afford to have such a high-rank spirit plant. It was the only reasonable conclusion that Ethan could come to. There is no way I am going to plant it and let that B***** spy on me. As of now, there might not be anything in Ethan's big courtyard that would catch that powerful cultivator's eye. However, when he harvested the perfect quality dragonheart lotuses from the spirit pond, it might spark their interest. Moreover, there were still Atzarex, the demonic blood dragonling, and Celia, the heavenly spirit beast. Even nascent soul realm cultivators go crazy over them. This is not right. I am missing something here. However, I am not able to think of it. Even with his infernal dragon blood heart talent, Ethan was unable to reach a satisfactory conclusion because he didn't have enough information yet. Forget it. As long as I don't plant it in my courtyard, it won't be an issue, and I should find an opportunity to get rid of it. With that thought in mind, Ethan stopped thinking too much about it and decided to wait for the real problem to arrive. Soon, he returned to his courtyard and took out the special spirit fruits he had bought from the Starlight Merchant Union. They were none other than the heavenly gamble fruit, and 3 golden lifespan fruits. Along with them, Ethan had bought a talent awakening fruit. However, since he had already consumed one, he stored it along with another talent awakening fruit he had from before for his parents or subordinates to use. Since I need a godly revival ability for the purification mission in the Berserk Beast realm, I can't consume the heavenly gamble fruit now. Other than that, Ethan was also waiting for the heavenly luck card. With the heavenly luck card, Ethan believed he could definitely trigger death after consuming the heavenly gamble fruit, which was a lot more beneficial to him rather than risking the other chances. That's right. If, by chance, Ethan triggered no effect after consuming the heavenly gamble fruit, it would be a complete waste of the fruit. With some luck, he could trigger awakening a talent. However, for Ethan, it was not very useful as he could acquire an overpowered heavenly talent from the interface of the killer's stats if he died after eating the heavenly gamble fruit. As long as I get Shadow B's complete loyalty, I can complete the mission and get a heavenly luck card. However, it is more difficult than I expected. Other than the heavenly luck card, Ethan was also looking forward to the godly general revival life card from completing that mission. Initially, he thought it was going to be an easy mission. However, getting that last 1 point of loyalty was so difficult that Ethan decided to put it on hold for now. Since I can't consume the heavenly gamble fruit now, I will eat the golden lifespan fruits. Putting the heavenly gamble fruit back into his vital bloom ring, Ethan focused on the 3 golden colored, delicious looking fruits. A single golden lifespan fruit can increase the lifespan of a cultivator by 100 years when consumed for the first time. However, after that, consuming additional fruits had less of an effect on the consumer. Nevertheless, even a 1-year increment in lifespan was a valuable boost for Ethan. Time to eat. However, just as Ethan picked up the golden lifespan fruit, he received a system notification that momentarily shocked him. Ding, the host has met the requirements for 210, creating a life card. 210, creating a life card. Ding, the host has met the requirements for creating the godly lifespan card, small. I can create a life card. Looking at the sudden system notification, Ethan was shocked for a moment before becoming excited. In the Berserk Beast realm, Ethan learned that he could exchange some special items for life cards like Last Breath Totem for a revival life card. However, it was his first time hearing about creating a life card. Ding, please check the requirements before creating the life card. Amidst his roller coaster emotions, Ethan received another system notification asking him to check the requirements. Yes. Controlling his emotions, Ethan nodded his head, and soon, he received another system notification. Ding, requirements to create the godly lifespan card, small, are, 1, 3 golden lifespan fruits, primary item. 2, 100,000 life points, secondary item. 3, 1 million spirit stones, secondary item. Note, upon successful creation of the godly lifespan card, the above-mentioned items will disappear. So, it is like alchemy. Looking at the requirements to create the godly lifespan card, Ethan understood how it works and compared it with alchemy. In alchemy, different ingredients are used to refine a pill, and similarly, different items are used to create a life card. Does it mean I can create other life cards if I have the required items? When this thought came to his head, Ethan's eyes lit up, making him excited. Right now, the one way Ethan could get the life cards was through missions or survival benefits. He wouldn't be able to claim the yearly survival benefits anytime soon. Hence, Ethan became excited when he learned that he could create life cards with the right ingredients. From these required items to create the godly lifespan card, I got some good understanding of how to find the required items to create other life cards. Ethan was not in a hurry to create the godly lifespan card. Instead, he started collecting his thoughts regarding this new ability to create life cards. From the looks of it, I already have the secondary items for creating the low-level life cards, and as long as I find the primary items, I might trigger the requirements for creating other cards. As for the primary items, they should have similar effects to the life cards I want to create. The golden lifespan fruit has an effect to increase the consumer's lifespan by 100 years, and the godly lifespan card, small, also has a similar but much more advanced effect, which is increasing the lifespan of the user by anywhere between 100 to 1000 years. It must be because of that advanced effect that the godly lifespan card required 3 golden lifespan fruits. So, I should not only keep the quality in mind, but also the quantity of the primary items required for the creation of life cards. To create a godly revival life card or godly general revival life card, I might need something like Last Breath Totem as the primary item, but the quantity should be more. To create heavenly luck cards, I should keep an eye on the special items that increase luck for the cultivator. As for the multiplier life card, I can't think of anything, but there should be some primary items for it. As he thought about it, Ethan's understanding of the creation of life cards increased. Looks like I should make regular visits to the Starlight Merchant Union. After thinking for a while, Ethan decided to visit the Starlight Merchant Union because his chances of finding the primary items for the creation of life cards would be higher there. For now, it's time to create my first life card. Soon, he kept his thoughts aside and gave the confirmation for the creation of the life card. Ding, the above-mentioned items have been consumed. Ding, the Godly Lifespan card, small, has been successfully created. The golden lifespan fruits disappeared, 100,000 life points were deducted, and 1 million spirit stones turned to dust as a green-colored life card hovered in front of Ethan. Consuming golden lifespan fruits will have its effects reduced on the consumer, however, when it comes to the Godly Lifespan card, there are no such limitations. Holding the life card, Ethan smiled as he mentioned the benefits of creating the life card compared to using those items directly. The first golden lifespan fruit gives 100 years of lifespan without any doubts, but consuming the second fruit gives only 50 years of lifespan. As for consuming the third fruit, it gives only 10 years of lifespan to the cultivator. Overall, a cultivator could gain 160 years of lifespan by consuming those 3 golden lifespan fruits. However, using the Godly Lifespan card, it can increase the cultivator's lifespan by anywhere between 100 to 1000 years. Previously, Ethan got 700 years of lifespan. So, he was confident in his luck that he would get at least 500 years of lifespan. Moreover, there is no limit on how many Godly Lifespan cards he could use on himself without worrying about the limitations. Let's see how lucky I will be this time. With a bit of excitement and nervousness, Ethan crushed that Godly Lifespan card. Please give me above 500 years, above 500 years, heavens, give me 500 years. At the same time, Ethan started praying to the heavens to give him at least 500 years of increment in his lifespan. Ding, the host has used the Godly Lifespan card. Ding, the host's lifespan has been increased by 920 years. Ding, the host's current lifespan is 16/5100. Soon, a series of system notifications rang in his head, making Ethan pleasantly surprised and excited. This, I am luckier than the previous time I used the Godly Lifespan card. Ethan was only praying for 500 years of increment, however, he received 920 years. So, how could he not be excited about it? He felt he must be the luckiest person in the whole world as his gaze fell onto the 2 spirit pets, making him guess the reason for his luck. Tomorrow, I should go and find more golden lifespan fruits and create more Godly Lifespan cards. If possible, I should create a higher version of the Godly Lifespan card. Month is ending. 211, Nurturing under full moon. 211, Nurturing under full moon. Since he learned the required items to create the Godly Lifespan card and since there is no limit on how many Godly Lifespan cards he could use to increase his lifespan, Ethan wants to create more of them. Although it's been only 3 days since he bought all the golden lifespan fruits, as one of the main branches of the Starlight Merchant Union, Ethan believed that they would replenish the golden lifespan fruits. I should try to increase my lifespan as much as possible. Ethan was only 16 years old and had a lifespan of more than 5,000 years. Any foundation establishment cultivator having 5,000 years of lifespan would be over the moon. However, Ethan was not content with it because having more lifespan would give him more death allowance. The simple death allowance might not be much, however, when special life cards like Multiplier Life Card are used, the simple death allowance can be increased by 2 to 5 times. It is just a small Multiplier Life Card. If I can find a higher Multiplier Life Card that can multiply my death allowance by dozens or hundreds, or even thousands of times, even 1 year of lifespan will give me thousands of life points. Other than revival type life cards, the remaining life cards are classified into small, medium, and large. Although so far, he had only received small life cards, it wouldn't be long before he started receiving the medium and even large life cards. Moreover, I have a feeling that having a high lifespan might trigger some rewards or features. Ethan was not sure, however, increasing the lifespan would only be beneficial to him. Time continued to pass, and in a flash, night descended in the green fire realm. A radiant full moon hung high in the sky, casting a gentle silver glow over countless peaks in the realm. In one of the bottom courtyards on Pentashade Peak, Ethan stood under the moonlight with his gaze fixed on the lunar orchid. Under the moonlight, the tiny lunar orchid shimmered relatively brighter than the regular days of the night. It was still small, barely the size of a finger, but under the full moon's light, it released a soft, silvery shimmer, lovingly beautiful to watch. Time to speed up the growth. Flourishing Spirit Rain Green Pulse Art. Ethan didn't waste any time as he used his 2 nurturing techniques to speed up its growth under the full moon. Swoosh! The moment Ethan activated his 2 nurturing techniques, his body released a rich plant essence towards the tiny lunar orchid. Drizzle! Along with the plant essence, tiny droplets of spirit rain fell on and around the lunar orchid, soaking into the soil and enriching it with pure vitality. Due to the lunar essence combined with the plant essence, the lunar orchid started growing at an incredible speed that was visible to the naked eye. It needs more spirit rain. Whenever spirit plants have their growth accelerated, they need both spirit essence and spirit water. Ethan was not worried about the spirit essence because the courtyard had a spirit gathering array, making the already rich spirit essence in Pentashade Peak even richer. As for the spirit water, he created the spirit rain, making it easy for the lunar orchid to absorb it. Swish! The lunar orchid's tiny stem trembled as it greedily absorbed lunar essence, plant essence, and spirit rain. Glish! Its silvery glow intensified, with its leaves growing slightly broader, and its roots extending deeper into the nutrient-rich soil. It is growing much faster than I expected. Ethan smiled but focused on the lunar orchid as he observed its growth while maintaining his nurturing techniques for a whole hour like every day. Let's check its status and maturity. For the last couple of days, Ethan had been nurturing the lunar orchid for only an hour before it got tired. So, as usual, he stopped his nurturing session after 1 hour and checked the results of his nurturing session. Spirit plant, lunar orchid grade, special rank 5 maturity, 8,700 days, minus 1,000 days. As I expected, the maturity has decreased by 1,000 days. Every day, after each nurturing session, the maturity would decrease by 100 days, and since the lunar orchid grows 10 times faster under the full moon. So, Ethan was not surprised, however, when he saw the status of the lunar orchid, he was pleasantly surprised. Status: excited. What a beautiful weather. Why won't there be a full moon every day? Other than the lunar essence, I am receiving plant essence and spirit rain. Am I in heaven? But, why has the plant essence and spirit rain stopped? I want more, so. These are the effects of nurturing the lunar orchid on a full moon. During his previous 3 nurturing sessions, the lunar orchid became tired after 1 hour, however, today, it behaved like it had consumed an aphrodisiac, still excited after the session and wanting more. Since you want more, I will satisfy you. Thanks to his heavenly spirit essence refining technique and the heavenly spirit root, Ethan's spirit essence replenishes on its own. So, even if the lunar orchid wanted their session to continue for the whole night, Ethan was not worried. Moreover, the longer the nurturing session continues, the faster the lunar orchid matures. Hence, he resumed his nurturing session for the lunar orchid. Time passed by, and in a flash, another hour passed by as Ethan once again checked its information to see whether he should continue or end the session. Maturity: 8,200 days, minus 500 days. Status: excited. I want more, please don't stop in the middle. It still wants to continue, as expected for the Aphrodite, lunar essence. Ethan didn't mind that its maturity was reduced by only 500 days, instead, he was happy that the lunar orchid was still not tired and wanted to continue the session. Time continued to pass, and in a flash, 6 hours passed by as the full moon settled down, as the sun slowly rose on the horizon. Huff, it has finally tired. Ethan heaved a sigh of relief, looking at the lunar orchid status. 212, visiting the Starlight Merchant Union again. 212, visiting the Starlight Merchant Union again. Spirit plant, lunar orchid grade, special rank 5 maturity, 4,700 days status, satisfied and tired. I will be looking forward to another intense nurturing session on the next full moon. In just a single night, the lunar orchid has grown by 5,000 days. Looks like I can harvest it during the next full moon. Ethan smiled as he returned to his room to rest for a couple of days. Although his spirit essence was still 90% full, repeated usage of the green pulse art and the flourishing spirit rain had strained him mentally. Hence, Ethan decided to sleep for some time before going out of the sect. After 3 hours, in the huge hall of the Starlight Merchant Union, after resting, Ethan left the Green Fire sect realm, changed his attire, and covered his face, then went straight to the Starlight Merchant Union. Although the young attendant didn't see Ethan's face, he instantly recognized Ethan from his attire and respectfully asked what he wanted to buy this time. After Sir purchased the previous batch of golden lifespan fruits, we are lucky to replenish 1 golden lifespan fruit, sir. After learning that Ethan wanted to buy more golden lifespan fruits, the young attendant hurriedly informed him that they only had 1. Only 1. Ethan was a bit disappointed, however, he quickly recovered as he had already expected it. Fine, I will take it. Since he had already decided to collect the golden lifespan fruits to create the godly lifespan cards, Ethan bought it without hesitation. The price is 10 million spirit stones, but since you are a valuable customer who has purchased more than 100 million spirit stones, you are eligible for a 20% discount. The young attendant gave a star-shaped coin to Ethan, saying, with this star insignia, you can enjoy a 20% discount at all branches of the Starlight Merchant Union. Taking the star insignia, Ethan remained emotionless. However, deep down, he was excited because, in the future, he would be buying lots of materials for the creation of the life cards and other cultivation resources for his parents, subordinates, and pets. Adding the discount, I just have to pay 8 million spirit stones, right? Yes, sir. The young attendant nodded. You will not only sell but also buy items from the cultivators, right? Ethan didn't pay with spirit stones despite having 10 million spirit stones. Instead, he asked whether they would buy things from him. Of course. As long as it has some value, we will buy them. The young attendant proudly nodded his head, and at the same time, he was curious about the items that the mysterious golden core customer in front of him would take out. From the branch manager, the young attendant learned that this mysterious customer was a golden core realm cultivator and a very powerful one at that. Hence, the young attendant was curious about the items that Ethan would take out of his storage ring. How much will your Starlight Merchant Union pay for this? With a slight smile under his mask, Ethan took out a stalk of perfect quality azure profound grass. A perfect quality azure profound grass. The young attendant had many expectations regarding the items that Ethan wanted to sell. However, when he saw that it was only a perfect quality azure profound grass, he was greatly disappointed. The market price of a normal quality azure profound grass is 1,000 spirit stones, 1,500 for good quality, whereas for the perfect quality, it is 2,000 to 2,500 spirit stones. However, as a well-trained attendant, the young attendant quickly recovered from his disappointment and quoted the market prices for the various qualities of the azure profound grass. Generally, the store buys all the items at a 20% discount from the customer. However, as a valuable customer of my store, I can buy that grass for 2,200 spirit stones. Hearing that, Ethan felt nothing was wrong with those prices because that's how the store made a profit. What if I want to sell 1,000 perfect quality ones? However, Ethan had his ways and experience from his past life to get a much better price. 1,000 perfect quality stocks. This time, the young attendant was pleasantly surprised to hear Ethan's words as he silently thought in his head, what was I thinking earlier? How can a golden core realm cultivator have a single stock? Of course, he has lots of them. I can buy them for 2,400 spirit stones each. However, if Sir can bring out another 1,000 perfect quality stocks, I will give you the perfect price of 2,500 per stock. Although the market price of the perfect quality azure profound grass started from 2,000 spirit stones, there were actually some cases where cultivators paid 3,000 or even 3,500 per stock. Of course, those were rare cases, and most of them were sold at an average price of 2,500 spirit stones. However, recently, after years of exploration, the number of azure profound grass available in the azure serpent realm had greatly decreased. So, as someone with insight, all the branch managers of the Starlight Merchant Union had instructed their young attendants to buy the azure profound grass even at the market price. Currently, the mysterious golden core realm customer in front of him wanted to sell 1,000 stalks of the perfect quality azure profound grass. But, the young attendant believed that there might be more stalks in the cultivator's possession. So, he offered to buy at the market price if he sold 2,000 stalks of perfect quality azure profound grass. Sure. Ethan didn't think much about it because, currently, he had more than 6,000 perfect quality stalks, and in a week or two, he would get tens of thousands of perfect quality stalks. Hence, he agreed to the deal without hesitation. As for the price, he might get 3,000 spirit stones per stock if he sold directly to the alchemists. Ethan didn't have the time to sell them individually. For 2,000 stocks, Sir will receive 5 million spirit stones. After deducting the payment for the golden lifespan fruit, here are the 4.2 million spirit stones. The young attendant informed Ethan about the calculations before asking, "Do you want anything else, sir? Do you have any items related to luck or revivals?" 213, Annual Auction 213, Annual Auction other than golden lifespan fruits. Ethan was hoping to buy any special items that are related to luck and revivals. In this world, all kinds of special items exist. Although he hasn't witnessed any items that increase the cultivator's luck, Ethan was sure they exist just like the item Last Breath Totem, which he had no clue about until Shadow Bee showed it to him. Items related to luck and revivals. The young attendant raised his brows as he was not expecting Ethan to ask for such heavenly items. That's right. The concept of both luck and revival is considered top-notch, and the items related to them are considered heavenly items. Sorry, sir, the heavenly items, they can't be sold in a store like any other item. Soon, the young attendant shook his head. I already expected this. Ethan was not surprised to hear those words as he had already expected it. However, items like these are usually sold in our branch's annual auction. The young attendant quickly informed Ethan that he could try participating in their annual auction, which will be held in 5 months. 5 months. That's, Ethan frowned slightly and thought, maybe, I should just. Just as he was about to convince himself, a thought flashed through his mind. Wait a second, if this main branch in Greenfire City hosts an auction, then what about the other 2 main branches of the Starlight Merchant Union? They have their own annual auctions, right? Without wasting time, Ethan looked at the young attendant and asked, when will the annual auctions be held for the other 2 main branches? The young attendant was momentarily surprised but quickly responded, Sir, the 3 main branches of the Starlight Merchant Union host their annual auction with a gap of 4 months. The main branch in Skycloud City will be hosting its auction in a month. You can try going to the Skycloud region, sir. The young attendant didn't hide the information about the auction. Skycloud City? In a month. Ethan's eyes lit up upon hearing the young attendant's words. He was not unfamiliar with Skycloud City. It was the place he had lived in as Skycloud Sect's servant disciple for an entire year. Since I already have a safe point not far from Skycloud City, I can directly revive there, saving an entire day of traveling. Ethan felt good that he could finally use his first safe point in the Skycloud region. On the other hand, after thinking for a moment, the young attendant asked Ethan, "If you want, I can ask the branch manager to get the list of items that will be appearing in that auction." "Oh. Can you get the list?" Ethan was not expecting the young attendant to actively help him regarding another branch. "Wait a second, sir. I will quickly bring it." Soon, the young attendant went into the branch manager's chamber and returned with a white scroll. "Sir, here you go. This scroll contains the list of items for that auction." He gave the scroll to Ethan, making him surprised. Although the two branches belong to the same union, there will be competition between them depending on their sales and the profit they bring to the union. So, he was not expecting the young attendant to get the list of items that will be auctioned in Skycloud City's branch for him to check. Looks like Starlight Merchant Union's treatment towards its branches is indeed different compared to the large companies in the modern world. Ethan's respect for the Starlight Merchant Union increased after this small incident. However, Ethan didn't check the items. Instead, he quickly settled his transaction. "I have transferred the 4.2 million spirit stones and a golden lifespan fruit into your storage ring, sir. You can check it yourself. Thank you for the scroll." After checking that everything was correct, Ethan thanked the young attendant for the scroll before informing him, "I will come again in a week or two. Try to collect as many golden lifespan fruits as possible and also look into the night demon puppets." "Don't worry, sir. I will try my best," the young attendant assured Ethan by putting his hand on his heart, making Ethan smile before leaving the store. After that, Ethan went to the Green Fire Exchange Hall. "Hello, do you have any golden lifespan fruits?" Other than the Starlight Merchant Union, the only place that might have the golden lifespan fruits is the Green Fire Exchange Hall. "Sorry, cultivator. All golden lifespan fruits are already exchanged." The female attendant in the exchange hall shook her head. Ethan was not disappointed as he already knew it was very hard to get his hands on the golden lifespan fruits. "Let's enter the Berserk Beast realm and check the scroll." Soon after, Ethan silently entered the Berserk Beast realm using the permit tattoo. "Swoosh Master Kai, you are alive. I was worried a lot about you." As soon as Ethan appeared in the Berserk Beast realm, the tiny lion spirit appeared in front of Ethan and excitedly flew into his embrace with tears in its eyes. "What did I say? I won't die from something like that." Ethan had only a few exchanges with the primordial spirit. Maybe because it was a pure natural spirit, he had already become close to it. When he looked at the tiny lion spirit, he felt it was another one of his spirit pets, making him feel closer to it because, in this world, other than his parents, he felt closer to his spirit pets. "Give me a moment. I have something to check." After consoling Primer, Ethan took out the white scroll and checked the items that would be auctioned in Skycloud City's Starlight Merchant Union's branch. This. Each one of these items is enough to tempt even nascent Soul Realm cultivators. Looking at the 5 items on the scroll, Ethan was shocked because each item could create a bloodbath, and at the same time, his eyes lit up because he found 3 items that might be helpful to him in creating the life cards. But the starting bid for these items is, however, when he saw the price of those items, Ethan was thoroughly shocked and became hopeless. 214, 5 heavenly items. 214, 5 heavenly items. In the annual auction of the Starlight Merchant Union's main branches, there will be more than 20 items, however, only 5 items are mentioned on the white scroll given by the young attendant. These 5 items are the heavenly items that are used to attract all the powerful cultivators, cultivation families, and even the top sects. The reason why the branch manager gave the white scroll to Ethan is because he made a purchase of close to 150 million spirit stones with their store and qualifies to receive it. The starting bids aren't they very pricey? Each item on the scroll made Ethan excited, however, the starting bids made him thoroughly shocked and become hopeless. No, I should not give up. I still have a month, and I can find ways to earn that money. Maybe it was because of his heavenly talent or because of his personality to never give up. Ethan clenched his fists and was determined to arrange funds to buy at least one of the items. All I have to do is motivate myself, and the best way to do it is, with that thought in mind, Ethan started checking out one item after another on the white scroll to motivate himself. 1. Heavenly Lifespan Peach, a rank 7 spirit fruit that can increase the lifespan of the cultivators by 1000 years. Note, only Golden Core Realm or above cultivators can consume it. Starting bid, 250 million spirit stones with the Heavenly Lifespan Peach. I think I can create a Godly Life card, medium, or even a Godly Life card, large. If it was before, Ethan would have thought of directly consuming the natural resources and directly getting their effects. However, after learning that he could create life cards on his own, all special items looked like primary items for the creation of the life cards in his eyes. For those old cultivators in the Golden Core Realm, an additional 1000 years gives them the hope of becoming a nascent Soul Realm cultivator. So, the competition will be very high, and it might reach 500 million spirit stones or even higher. Ethan roughly estimated the spirit stones needed to buy it. 2. Void Destiny Pearl, a special rank 5 item that can temporarily increase the cultivator's luck by a tiny bit for 1 hour. Note, most effective only on Golden Core Realm cultivators or below. It can be used by the nascent Soul Realm cultivators, but the already tiny increment of luck will be further reduced for them. Starting bid, 300 million spirit stones. I am sure that the second item can be used to create the Heavenly Lucky card, small. Reading the information on the second item, Ethan was confident that the Void Destiny Pearl was the primary item for the creation of the Heavenly Luck card. But, I think not many cultivators will be interested in it. Ethan believed that the maximum price this pearl could reach was 350 million spirit stones or even lower. It was because the luck increased by the pearl was very tiny, and many cultivators might not spend 350 million spirit stones on it when they have other good items. Maybe, this might be the cheapest item among the listed 5 items. Ethan silently made a mental note that he should try to get this item if he didn't secure 500 million spirit stones. 3. Heavenly Spirit Beast Egg, an unknown Heavenly Spirit Beast. Starting bid, 300 million spirit stones. The third item is a Heavenly Spirit Beast Egg, however, I can give up on it as I already have 2, and I will be getting another one when I die consuming the Heavenly Gamble Fruit. In short, for Ethan, the Heavenly Spirit Beast Egg became the least wanted item among the 5 items. 4. Heavenly Sun Ginseng, a special natural cultivation resource which can increase the Golden Core Realm cultivators by a single level even in the later stage of the realm. Note, if consumed by someone with a high-level fire spirit root, they can break through 3 levels in the Golden Core Realm. Starting bid, 250 million spirit stones. Heavenly Sun Ginseng, with it, I can save 5 million life points. However, compared to using it on myself, if I give it to Elias, then he can break through 3 levels in the Golden Core Realm. Since Elias has a high-level fire spirit root, this Heavenly Sun Ginseng was a custom-made natural treasure for him. But, I don't think it is very useful to get such a valuable treasure. Although it has insanely powerful effects on cultivators with a high-grade fire spirit root, the top sects won't let this treasure fall into the hands of others. Because once someone gets this treasure, in no time, there will be the birth of a new nascent Soul Realm cultivator. Moreover, since the auction was hosted by the Starlight Merchant Union, the sect can't forcefully take it without going through the proper bidding process. So, all 3 top sects would fight one another in a bidding war, increasing the price to who knows what levels. It is not something I can get. Ethan rubbed his head in frustration, thinking how difficult it would be to get this heavenly sun ginseng. 5. Void rebirth lotus. After consuming it, the cultivator will have an additional life. Upon their death, they will be revived in the same place where they consumed the lotus in their peak condition. Note: only high-level Golden Core Realm cultivators and Nascent Soul Realm cultivators can consume it, because low-level cultivators can't bear the energy from that lotus, and their bodies will explode. Starting bid, 500 million spirit stones. As for the last item, for other cultivators, this is an invaluable treasure, however, it is useless to me. Since he already had the godly revival ability and revival life cards, Ethan didn't have much use for this. However, Ethan hoped to get his hands on this item to see whether he could create godly general revival life cards or even general revival life cards to revive the night demons. Wait a second, why am I thinking that I should buy these items? Can't I try something else? Suddenly, Ethan's eyes lit up when he got an idea of freely getting one item. 215, Stalker's Conclusion. 215, Stalker's Conclusion. Although it is slightly risky, as long as I plan it properly, I can get one item without spending a single spirit stone. Even before transmigrating to this world, Ethan was known for planning things. Right now, he had the infernal dragon blood heart, making him a perfect planner for almost anything. For now, let's complete the mission I came for, and after returning to the small courtyard, I can perfect the plan. With that thought in mind, Ethan stopped worrying about the annual auction and focused on the purification mission. Primer: let's go to the demonic blood dragon's abyss. Soon, Ethan asked the natural spirit to guide him to the abyss where the demonic blood dragon's corpse was located. I can't wait to see how much I can purify the abyss today. Compared to before, Ethan was looking forward to the current visit to the Berserk Beast realm because of his special talent blood devouring. Master Kai, before we go there, I have something important to inform you. Seeing that Ethan had put away the white scroll and was ready for the purification mission, Primer informed Ethan, the Green Fire sect has planned to bring in new batches of spirit beasts into the Berserk Beast realm by next week. They are moving sooner than I thought. Ethan frowned because he had expected the Green Fire sect to investigate the disappearance of the Berserk Beasts from the Berserk Beast realm for a couple of months. However, it's been only 2 weeks since the beast extermination trial ended, and they were already putting in more spirit beasts. Looks like I should try to purify the abyss as soon as possible and become the owner of this secret realm. Although it was a good thing for Ethan if the spirit beasts turned into berserk beasts before he purified them with his infernal flame to get life points, Ethan didn't want the spirit beasts to suffer for his gains. Maybe if he didn't know about the side effects that the spirit beasts had to go through after becoming normal, Ethan might have used that method to farm life points. However, the side effects were far greater than the benefits. Not only do they lose half of their lifespan after going through the process, but their breakthroughs will be so slow that most spirit beasts will be stuck in their ranks until they die. As an empathetic person, Ethan didn't want those spirit beasts to go through such things just for his gains. Life points are important, however, I have multiple ways to earn life points, and in the future, I will unlock more sources to earn life points. Ethan was clear about his thoughts as he sensed the urgency of his mission. So, I have to purify the abyss within 2 sessions. One is today, and the other one will be next week. Ethan silently thought to himself as he hoped, I just hope that my new special talent blood devouring will give me some pleasant surprises. Don't worry, Primer. I will try to purify the secret realm before that. Ethan assured the natural spirit, making it nod its tiny lion head. Master Kai, there is another important thing. The natural spirit still didn't guide Ethan to the abyss as it had another matter to report. What is it? A few moments ago, somewhere far from Ethan's current location in the Berserk Beast realm. I sense it again. He has appeared. A masked old man who was sitting cross-legged inside a cave suddenly opened his eyes at the exact moment Ethan entered the berserk beast realm. But, why did the killer's mark on him become so thin that if not for my extraordinary senses, I would not have sensed him? The old man frowned, thinking about how vague the killer's mark on his target had become. He was none other than the stalker who had followed Ethan into the berserk beast realm a week ago. However, before he could find Ethan, Ethan was killed and revived back in the small courtyard. With Ethan's death and his departure from the secret realm, the stalker had suddenly lost all traces of Ethan. However, he believed that Ethan was still inside the berserk beast realm and had used some treasures to cover the so-called killer's mark, which allowed the stalker to follow Ethan. Thus, he stayed close to the entrance of the berserk beast realm, waiting for Ethan, because if Ethan wanted to leave the secret realm, he would have to go through the only exit, which was also the entrance to the berserk beast realm. Although I already know his identity and his background, having the killer's mark on him makes things easy for me. Thinking about the killer's mark that had almost disappeared, the stalker believed Ethan had used some kind of treasure to erase it, which was not a good thing for him. It was because once the killer's mark completely disappeared, the stalker would have a hard time finding him, and if he didn't find him in the right place, the stalker wouldn't be able to kill Ethan, thus failing his mission. Soon, he became serious and thought, I should kill him, but before that, I should figure out where he disappeared to for the last few days after entering the berserk beast realm. Looks like he didn't use any treasure to cover his killer's mark. Instead, he might have entered another secret realm inside the berserk beast realm. At the same time, he corrected his previous assumption and came to the conclusion that Ethan had entered another secret realm inside the berserk beast realm. That's right. He concluded that there existed another secret realm inside the berserk beast realm, possibly an unexplored one that even the Green Fire sect didn't know about. The reason for his conclusion was that he had completely lost the killer's mark for the last 7 days, which meant that his target must have either left the secret realm or entered another secret realm. Since the stalker was sure his target hadn't left the berserk beast realm, he concluded the second possibility and became excited. If a Foundation establishment realm cultivator can safely enter that unexplored secret realm, with my cultivation, I might become the owner of it. The old man grew excited thinking about it and quickly rushed in the direction of the faint killer's mark he had sensed. At Ethan's location, what? There is a golden core realm assassin in the secret realm wanting to kill me. And he is currently rushing towards me. The second thing that the natural spirit wanted to tell Ethan was that there was a powerful assassin wanting to kill him. Hearing that, Ethan was shocked and asked Primer for more details about it. Yes, Master Kai. A week ago, he entered the secret realm a few minutes after you entered. After that, he had been waiting near the entrance while occasionally muttering a few things about killer's mark and killing a killer. The tiny lion spirit quickly shared all the things it had heard from that assassin, making Ethan bitterly smile. Who wants me dead this time? He had yet to figure out who the mastermind was who hired the first assassin when he had just transmigrated. He had to die to sever his ties with the Eternal Shadow Guild, but now, he was being targeted by it again. Wait a second, am I being targeted for killing Shadow B? Suddenly, Ethan realized the reason why the Eternal Shadow Guild was after him. Although Ethan revived Shadow B, the shadow mark on Shadow B's body disappeared. This means, according to the Eternal Shadow Guild, Shadow B was dead. So, if my guess is correct, the shadow mark that has disappeared from his body has turned into killer's mark and attached itself to my body. He knew about Soul Whisper, which would inform the death of a guild member to the nearest stronger guild member. So, with some thinking and guessing, Ethan figured out the killer's mark and how it appeared on his body. I wonder whether this killer's mark appears only for the silver rank and above assassins like Shadow B. Although he didn't hear about the killer's mark from Shadow B, Ethan got some good information about the Eternal Shadow Guild. Especially the ranks of the assassins. The assassins in the guild are classified into various ranks, starting from bronze, silver, gold, diamond, and eternal. Depending on the assassin's cultivation and the missions they accomplish, the assassins will be promoted. The ones that Ethan encountered in the beginning were the bronze rank assassins, who might have been promoted to silver rank after completing a few more missions. The assassin with the cultivation talent Bountiful Harvesting was a silver rank assassin, just like Shadow B. However, according to Shadow B, as long as he breaks through to the Golden Core realm, he would have been promoted to gold rank assassin. The one who wants to kill me right now must be a gold rank assassin. Despite knowing that the gold rank assassin was rushing towards him to kill him, Ethan didn't bother to move. It was because no matter where he ran, Ethan knew he could not escape with the killer's mark. So, he stood still as many thoughts went through his mind. I can understand how he was able to track me to the Berserk Beast realm until last week, but he could no longer track me, right? Since Ethan died last week, he thought that the killer's mark on his body should also have disappeared along with his death. It is going to be a problem if I can't remove the killer's mark from my body. Thinking about the killer's mark on his body, Ethan rubbed his head in frustration. Ethan was not worried about death, but the problem was that even after his revival, if the killer's mark was still on his body, then no matter where he went, the gold rank assassins would continue to come after him. If I kill him, the killer's mark on my body might become even denser, attracting more gold rank assassins or even diamond rank assassins. What should I do? With the mastery of his cultivation techniques, Ethan could easily escape from a low-level or even mid-level Golden Core realm cultivator and might even kill one if he caught them off guard. But it was going to be a problem if the enemy was a high-level Golden Core realm. Master Kai, although I am not sure, that gold rank assassin has a cultivation of at least level 5 Golden Core realm. Seeing Ethan frown, the natural spirit tried to share more information, hoping that something might help Ethan come out of his current predicament. Anything else, Primer? Ethan asked the natural spirit for more information. He seems to be in a hurry to kill you. He is coming towards you at an incredible speed. Judging from his speed, he will reach here in just 10 minutes. If only I had my full power, I could have easily annihilated him. The closer the gold rank assassin came, the more anxious the lion spirit became, and at the same time, it blamed itself for being so weak and useless. Back when the secret realm was still called the primordial beast realm, it was on par with a nascent soul realm cultivator. So, in the current situation where it could not even take care of a golden core realm cultivator, Primer was filled with mixed emotions. It's alright, Primer. Just focus on the assassin and see whether you can get any information from him. Ethan patted the tiny lion spirit and asked it to calm down before spying on the incoming assassin to get any useful information from him. Yes. Maybe it was Ethan's calm and composed look, but the tiny lion spirit became calm in no time and hurriedly spied on the gold rank assassin. Although it lost all its abilities and strength, it was still a natural spirit of the secret realm, and nothing escaped its eyes. So, it focused on the incoming assassin, hoping to get any information from him. Master Kai, he is muttering in a very low voice that I am unable to hear clearly. Primer's words disappointed Ethan as the tiny lion spirit continued to speak, but, I heard some words like killer's mark, unexplored secret realm. Information. Kill him. Although the words were all jumbled and didn't make sense to Primer, it was different for Ethan, as some words made his eyes light up. 217, Arrival of the gold-ranked assassin. Killer's mark is another effect that was bestowed to all the assassins of the Eternal Shadow Guild, similar to the Soul Whisper. Although Killer's mark is attached to the body of the cultivator who kills their assassins, Ethan was carrying that Killer's mark for so long that his soul carried the slight traces of it. Thus, when Ethan revived, these slight traces were transferred back to his body because only when this killer's mark was on the cultivator's body could the other high-ranked assassins sense it. The killer's mark, it has become extremely thin. Ethan's eyes lit up when he came to this conclusion as he guessed, it must be because of my death. Phew, dying will remove the killer's mark. When Ethan thought of this, he heaved a sigh of relief, as it was the main reason he was frustrated and worried. With just one death, it has already become so thin, and with another death, there won't be any traces of the killer's mark on my body. Ethan was sure about that, and at the same time, he thought, also, he was mentioning some unexplored secret realm. Maybe, he is planning to explore an unexplored secret realm after killing me. If I can get the information on that unexplored secret realm, it will be quite interesting. Unknowingly, there were two people interested in an imaginary unexplored secret realm that was filled with treasures. Anyway, let's focus on the gold rank assassin and use him to test my battle prowess to see exactly how powerful I have become. Soon, he quickly set his worries aside before planning for the incoming gold-ranked assassin. Although Ethan was just a perfected foundation establishment realm, thanks to his perfection stage cultivation techniques, he was able to kill beings above his realm. However, they were just demonic blood beast kings whose intelligence was not great. Only by fighting human cultivators, Ethan believed, could he gauge his exact strength. Primer, keep listening. I need to know exactly what he's thinking. Since he had gotten so much valuable information about his enemy, Ethan asked the primordial beast spirit to continue observing the target for any valuable information. Yes, Master Kai. The tiny lion spirit focused its attention on the assassin, trying to get some information. An assassin who's desperate is an assassin who makes mistakes. Although he might be wrong about some of his assumptions and conclusions, Ethan was sure about one thing, and that was that the gold-ranked assassin seemed desperate. Hence, he decided to make sure he took full advantage of it. Time continued to pass, and in a flash, 10 minutes had passed by as the gold-ranked assassin finally arrived. You have finally arrived. I have been waiting for you. As soon as the assassin arrived, Ethan calmly greeted the old assassin. Huh. Hearing Ethan's words, the old assassin was caught off guard as he did not expect his target to be waiting for him. The assassin narrowed his sharp eyes at Ethan. His black robes billowed slightly as his cold and emotionless voice finally rang out, "You knew I was coming." "Of course. I knew it. You were waiting for me for a week, and also, you were in such a hurry for the unexplored secret realm, right?" Before the assassin could react, Ethan smirked as he continued with a bright smile, "So, I figured I should welcome you properly. I was right?" He knew I was following him, and that's why he hid in that unexplored secret realm. Hearing Ethan's words, the assassin was not shocked, instead, he became excited. This is it, there is really an unexplored secret realm, there is really one. I have to enter it. I have to get it at any cost. The assassin's grip on his dagger tightened as he thought, I don't know what kind of trump cards he has, but I have to quickly subdue him. He was an experienced killer, yet Ethan's lack of fear unsettled him. It was his first time seeing a level 6 foundation establishment realm cultivator speaking so calmly. Moreover, the target had the time to run away, but instead of running away, he stood there, waiting. All these things made the assassin confirm that Ethan was hiding some trump card. So, he decided to quickly subdue Ethan. The assassin believed that as long as he subdued his target, he could get all the answers he wanted from him, especially the information related to that unexplored secret realm and how to enter it. Trying to act calm before your death. With such thoughts in mind, the assassin sneered at Ethan while checking for possible traps around Ethan before he acted. That's right. Even as a golden core realm cultivator, the assassin didn't blindly rush to kill Ethan because this target of his was different from the other targets. Let's suppress him. While looking out for possible traps around Ethan, the first thing the assassin did was release his golden core pressure to suffocate Ethan and make him realize there was a vast difference between them. The moment the assassin released his golden core realm's cultivation pressure, the air around them trembled slightly as an invisible force swept through the surroundings. Higher-level cultivators possess the ability to suppress those beneath them simply by exerting their cultivation presence. It was an instinctive display of dominance in the cultivation world, where the sheer weight of their existence could suffocate, paralyze, and even crush the will of weaker cultivators without even lifting a finger. Ding, the host's opponent used his golden core realm's cultivation pressure to suppress the host. Ding, the effect predator's aura under the special talent I am your killer has been triggered. Ding, the host is immune to the suffocation, paralyzing effect, and other negative effects from aura-type attacks. Death? That's a bit premature, don't you think? On the other hand, Ethan still maintained his composure as his eyes gleamed with amusement and told the assassin, also, if you want to kill me, those small tricks won't work on me. Saying that, Ethan patiently waited for the assassin to make the first move. 218, fight begins. Although Ethan could use his speed from the shadow steps to launch a quick attack, he noticed the assassin had more or less the same speed. The assassin's movement technique might not have reached the perfect stage, but his cultivation was above level 5 Golden Core Realm. So, launching a surprise attack to kill him might not be possible. Instead, Ethan wanted to play a mind game with the assassin and make him take the first move before making his move. Huh? Why is he not affected by my cultivation pressure? Unlike Ethan, the assassin was shocked to see Ethan remain unaffected by his cultivation pressure. What's more, his target even spoke with a smile on his face, which made the assassin shocked. Does he have a heavenly artifact or what? Why can he remain unaffected under such pressure, and the calm look on his face? He is getting on my nerves. It looks like he must have gotten some kind of treasure from that unexplored secret realm. The assassin quickly recovered from his shock, and his intent to kill Ethan increased. He thought that if a Foundation Establishment realm cultivator could get a treasure, that would give him the confidence to confront a Golden Core realm, and how many treasures could he obtain with his Golden Core realm cultivation? Hence, the assassin became even more determined to get the information on the unexplored secret realm. Let's see what kind of treasure gives me such confidence, he. Swish. Without another word, the old assassin's body blurred as he vanished from his spot. He is finally attacking. Although Ethan looked calm and composed on the surface, he was on full alert, and upon seeing that the assassin had disappeared, he activated his azure snake eyes. Master Kai, he is behind you. However, before he could search for the assassin, Ethan heard the tiny lion spirit's voice in his ear. Despite being in a weakened state, the primordial beast spirit was still the natural spirit of the secret realm, and there was nothing it couldn't see inside the secret realm. Because the natural spirit was the secret realm, and the secret realm was the natural spirit, nothing could hide from it. He is faster than I expected. Ethan didn't have the time to thank the natural spirit because the assassin was already behind him. Blazing Python Physique, passive increases the defenses of the user by 2 times Verdant Thorn Armor, Retribution Thorns. The cultivation talent was passive, however, Ethan had to spend Spirit Essence to activate his only defensive cultivation technique, which had been given to him by Uncle Merrick at the beginning of his journey. Soon, Ethan's body was covered in a green-colored sturdy armor with sharp spikes on it. Swish, a defensive technique. It's useless. The old assassin scoffed at Ethan's move, however, deep down, he felt some unknown fear because of Ethan's calmness. Silent Reaper Fist. Nevertheless, the assassin didn't stop his attack as he threw his fist, which was covered in black energy, at Ethan. Puchikaka. Upon collision, there was a crisp cracking sound as Ethan's green armor cracked a little, and he was pushed a few meters forward. So, a perfection stage defensive technique barely stopped a Golden Core Realm cultivator's attack. That's right. Ethan had upgraded the Verdant Thorn armor to the perfection stage because it was the only defensive cultivation technique he had. Except for a small internal shock, Ethan was perfectly fine. However, he was disappointed that his Verdant Thorn armor was broken in a single attack. Although it was not a real armor and could be condensed again, Ethan had to spend more spirit essence to use it again. Anyway, I still have other perfect stage cultivation techniques that need to be tested. Ethan planned to use the assassin to test his perfection stage cultivation techniques to understand how powerful they were, and with that knowledge, he could plan his future fights more accurately. What? Are you still standing? On the other hand, the assassin was shocked to see Ethan still standing without a single injury. Meanwhile, his own hand had scratches from the thorns on the armor, which further increased the assassin's shock. However, since the assassin had already expected such surprises from Ethan, the assassin quickly recovered from his shock as he asked Ethan, "Is that a perfection stage defensive technique?" "Yes." Ethan replied with a smile without trying to hide it, because there was no way he could hide it anymore. "So that is where your confidence comes from." The assassin chuckled for a moment, and in the next second, he attacked again without giving Ethan any time to recover. Swish Silent Reaper Fist Verdant Thorn Armor, Retribution Thorns Puchikaka. The assassin was fast, however, Ethan's reaction speed was not bad, and there was still Primer, who was helping him determine where the assassin would attack him next. The outcome was the same as before. The armor got broken again. "Brat, let's see how long you can last." After the second round, the unknown lingering fear towards Ethan disappeared as the assassin became confident that he could easily subdue Ethan. So, he repeatedly threw his fists at Ethan because he knew that his target would run out of spirit essence in another 5 or 6 rounds. Puchikaka. Time to attack. After 4 more rounds, Ethan sensed that the assassin had relaxed and felt that the time he was waiting for had finally arrived. Hence, he changed his fighting style from defense to offense. "Brat, I thought you got a treasure from," Shadow stepped Swish as the assassin was about to throw his 7th Silent Reaper fist and taunt Ethan. He saw Ethan easily dodging his incoming fist by slightly taking a side step. "What?" Before he could realize how Ethan could dodge his attack, the assassin saw Ethan bend a little before extending his palm, which was covered in fiery sun energy. Blazing sun palm. Since the assassin was still in the middle of his attack, he didn't have time to dodge Ethan's counterattack. Boom! Before the assassin could react, he was blasted dozens of meters away. Clap clap clap. "Why you are good, good, very good. Now, I understand why you are so confident." The assassin quickly adjusted his balance and clapped at Ethan's action as he continued, "Killing you is no longer just an official matter, it has now become personal." 219, True Power of Golden Core Realm. Shadow Kane was a level 6 Golden Core Realm cultivator who had completed lots of missions and became a gold-ranked assassin. Up until now, he had not failed one mission and was famous. Because of that, he even got a title, the Unyielding Reaper. However, right now, he got pushed back by a Foundation establishment realm. If word spread about it, other assassins would mock him, and his title would have no meaning anymore. Of course, there was no one else other than them, but he knew it himself, right? Also, if he didn't kill the target, Shadow Kane would become restless. Therefore, for Shadow Kane, killing Ethan was no longer a mission for him but a personal matter, because only by killing Ethan could he satisfy his inner self. As expected of a Golden Core Realm cultivator, he is stronger than I thought. Even my perfection stage Blazing Sun Palm had only pushed him back. On the other hand, Ethan finally understood how powerful Golden Core Realm cultivators were. So, my limit is only rank 5 beasts or low-level Golden Core Realm cultivators. Although Ethan was not sure about Shadow Kane's cultivation, the natural spirit informed him that it was at least level 5 Golden Core Realm or above. However, I still have other cultivation techniques, skills, and trump cards. Let's see whether I can kill him or not. Nevertheless, Ethan wanted to push himself to the full extent because he didn't want to die that easily, at least without putting up an intense fight. "Brat, now I understand where your confidence is coming from." After taking the direct hit from Ethan, Shadow Kane realized something that made his earlier fear towards Ethan's unknown trump card disappear. Just because you have the perfection stage cultivation techniques, do you think you can kill me? Shadow Kane scoffed at Ethan. Earlier, Shadow Kane realized that Ethan not only had a perfection stage defensive technique, but he also had a movement technique, palm technique, and a concealment technique. That's right. Shadow Kane even figured out that Ethan's cultivation was not level 6 but the perfect foundation establishment realm. It was because even if a level 6 foundation establishment realm cultivator had so many perfection stage cultivation techniques, he could not push him a level 6 golden core realm cultivator like that. At such a young age, how did he manage to reach the perfection stage in all those cultivation techniques? Despite scoffing at Ethan, deep down, Shadow Kane was shocked at Ethan's achievement because even golden core realm cultivators spent decades to bring one cultivation technique to the perfection stage. However, the young man in front of him was able to bring 4 cultivation techniques to that stage at such a young age. Wait a second, is it because of that unexplored secret realm? Suddenly, Shadow Kane once again connected Ethan's achievements with the unexplored secret realm. If not for that, why would someone who joined the Green Fire sect rush back to the Berserk Beast realm without staying in the Green Fire secret realm that was known for its rich spirit essence? I should get the details about that secret realm from this brat, however, before that, I should subdue him. With eyes filled with determination, Shadow Kane spoke in a cold and emotionless tone, "Now, I will go all out and show you the true power of the Golden Core realm." Shadow steps swish. As soon as he finished his sentence, Shadow Kane used his shadow steps to move like a ghost. Despite having lower mastery than Ethan, his speed was quite fast due to his high cultivation. Silent Reaper fist swish. Master Kai, to your left. There is no time to dodge it. Let's block it. Ethan frowned at the sudden increase in the assassin's speed as he didn't have the time to dodge the incoming attack. Verdant Thorn armor, so he decided to block it using his defensive cultivation technique like before. Kaka swish. However, unlike before, the green armor around Ethan was completely shattered before he was blasted away into the distance. What just, happened? Coughing a mouthful of blood, Ethan tried to understand what just happened and how his armor got shattered completely. Earlier, I was using only a small portion of my power because I didn't want to kill you so soon, Keek. Looking at the shocked look on Ethan's face, Shadow Kane felt good as he eerily chuckled. Shadow Kane was telling the truth when he said he only used a small portion of his strength. If he used even half of his strength against a Foundation Establishment Realm cultivator, Shadow Kane could have easily killed him. He never aimed to kill Ethan in one punch. Instead, he wanted to subdue Ethan first because he still needed the information on the unexplored secret realm. However, after learning that his target had perfection stage cultivation techniques, Shadow Kane was no longer worried about instantly killing Ethan. Actually, this is even better because once he realizes the vast difference in strength between us, he will use the information on the unexplored secret realm to save his life. He believed that the reason Ethan was calm and confident even after knowing that he was a Golden Core Realm cultivator was because of his perfection stage cultivation technique. But, Shadow Kane knew that, in front of absolute strength, even cultivation techniques became useless, and he wanted Ethan to realize that on his own. I really underestimated you. After coughing another mouthful of blood, Ethan stood up and surprisingly smiled, making Shadow Kane frown. Why is he still smiling? Why the hell is he still smiling? To be honest, I was also not using my full strength. If I used it, I would have already chopped you into pieces by now. Ethan smirked when he said those words, and at the same time, he silently thought, I should get myself a special healing talent. Although Ethan was speaking normally, he was not feeling good about his current health condition. It was not severe, however. Ethan believed that if he had a healing type cultivation technique, he could have quickly recovered as he spoke with his opponent. Wait a second, I wonder whether it will work. Suddenly, Ethan thought of something and activated his green pulse art on himself. Swish. Soon, The plant essence entered his body as the ghost bone thistle in Ethan's skeletal structure rapidly devoured the plant essence to heal the fractures in his body. Phew, it is working. My fractures are being repaired. Although the speed was slow, Ethan felt it was much better than having no healing. No, it's not possible. As for Shadow Cane, he was unable to believe it and thought, he must be faking it. Yes, there is no way he didn't use his full strength earlier. Haha, since you say it's impossible, how about I prove it? Are you going to stand still and receive my full-powered attack? No matter how much pain he was in, Ethan maintained a smile because he believed, a smiling face is enough to annoy your haters and killers. Shadow Cane thought about it for a moment before nodding his head, sure. Huh? He accepted it just like that. Ethan frowned as he didn't expect the gold-ranked assassin to accept it so soon. Don't tell me. Ethan suddenly realized something, however, he became even more excited as he thought of something else that could definitely kill the gold-rank assassin. 220, going all out. When Ethan asked Shadow Cane to receive his full-powered attack, he was not expecting the assassin to really agree to his words. He thought he would need more time to try convincing him. However, to his surprise, Shadow Cane directly agreed to his words, making Ethan guess the other party had some other intentions. Nevertheless, Ethan was still happy because he also had his own intentions that would help him kill the gold-ranked assassin in front of him. Unlike the time when I killed the demonic Blood Bat King using the similar strategy, I can't upgrade my cultivation techniques as they have already reached the maximum mastery. After upgrading his cultivation techniques to the perfection stage, Ethan wanted to at least know the cost of the next stage. However, there was no response from the system. Hence, Ethan concluded that the perfection stage is the highest mastery stage one could achieve in his cultivation techniques. However, I have a few things that can make my attacks even stronger. Ethan silently thought in his head as he slowly walked towards the assassin and stopped at some distance, thinking, this distance should do. Swish blood sword, come out. With the thought, a blood-red colored huge sword that was as big as Ethan appeared in Ethan's hand. It was a rank 5 sword that Ethan got as spoils of war from the Bloodclaw tribesmen he killed during the trial. There were so many rank 4 weapons and armors, however, only a single rank 5 weapon. Since his previous rank 4 sword was destroyed during the fight, Ethan replaced it with this rank 5 sword. Also, it had a special skill that played a crucial role in taking down the assassin in front of him. A rank 5 sword? Interesting, he is rich. A rank 5 sword was not something that just anyone could get their hands on because rank 5 weapons have some special skills, making them dangerous. So, he's finally going all out, good. That's exactly what I wanted. However, the assassin was not at all worried to see the rank 5 sword in Ethan's hand. Instead, he wanted Ethan to go all out in using his attack. As long as he uses his full-powered attack, it will become easier to subdue him, Keek. In his heart, the assassin chuckled as he gave enough time for Ethan to prepare for his full-powered attack. Everything about this rank 5 sword is good except for its weight. But, I have a way to make up for it. The only downside was that the blood sword was quite heavy, even for Ethan. However, he didn't think much about it. Flaming Python Rage tightening his grip on the blood sword, Ethan activated the skill he bought from the Azure Flaming Python. Swish kaka swoosh. In the next second, Ethan's body started growing. In just a few seconds, he grew from a less than 2-meter human to around a 4-meter giant. Huh? A body enlargement skill. Interesting, he has more trump cards than I expected. The assassin was once again surprised to see Ethan's transformation. Although Ethan bought his skills from the interface of the killer's stats, there were multiple ways for the cultivators of this world to awaken similar skills. Of course, it requires special treasures, and whenever such things appear, they would eventually end up in the hands of the rich and powerful. Considering that Ethan was able to bring out a rank 5 sword, the assassin was not much surprised to see Ethan use a skill. Instead, he excitedly thought in his head, "Go on and use a few more trump cards. Let me see how many trump cards you have." Ding, the host has used the skill, Flaming Python Rage. His battle prowess will be doubled for the next 5 minutes. On the other hand, Ethan received the system notification regarding his skill. However, he focused on the blood sword, which became lighter and a perfect fit for his body now. Swish swish, Ethan casually swung the blood sword, getting used to his temporarily boosted strength. "Are you ready?" Once he had adjusted to his enhanced strength, Ethan asked the assassin with an intentionally smirking face. "I was ready long ago." Shadow Kane scoffed as he was getting irritated by the look on Ethan's face. "So, be prepared to take my full-powered attack." As soon as he finished his words, Ethan tightened his grip around the blood sword and silently activated another one of his skills. Abyssal Blood Domain. As Ethan said before, he was going all out in taking down the Golden Core Realm Cultivator in front of him, and another key factor was his special skill Abyssal Blood Domain. Ding, the host has activated the special skill, Abyssal Blood Domain. Within a 10-meter radius of the host, all enemies stronger than the host will have their battle prowess suppressed by 10%. Unlike the previous skill which increased Ethan's battle prowess, this special skill would decrease his enemy's battle prowess. Swish! In the next second, the 10-meter radius around Ethan turned blood red. Huh? A domain-type skill? Where did he awaken such a skill? Feeling the sudden changes in his surrounding 10-meter radius, followed by some slight suppression on him, Shadow Kane was shocked as he could tell it was a domain-type skill. A skill that even nascent soul cultivators would die for, but a Foundation Establishment Realm cultivator had it. So, how could he not be shocked? Is he going to become my fortuitous encounter? However, Shadow Kane was still not worried, even after getting the 10% decrease in his battle prowess. Because he was confident in his own skills and experience. Meanwhile, Ethan didn't want to give any time for the Shadow Assassin to react to his special skill, Abyssal Blood Domain. So, he quickly used his most powerful single-target sword move. Sky-shattering sword art, Horizon Annihilation Swish. As soon as Ethan horizontally swung his blood sword, a sharp blood-colored wind blade was released. The wind blade seemed to carry a terrifying force that could tear through the toughest defenses as it flew towards the assassin at an extreme pace. That really looks dangerous, however. Looking at the incoming powerful blood-colored wind blade, the assassin smiled as his body flickered and vanished from his spot, easily avoiding the deadly blood blade from Ethan's sword strike. Haha. After dodging it, Shadow Kane started laughing as he mocked, "Did you really think I'd just stand still and take your attack? Only a fool would let himself be cut down just because he's stronger." Shadow Kane sneered, shaking his head. The assassin might be a level 6 Golden Core Realm cultivator, and his opponent might be a perfected Foundation Establishment Realm cultivator, but there was no way Shadow Kane would just stand still and receive a powerful attack. From the beginning itself, the assassin didn't have any plans to take Ethan's attack head-on, let alone after seeing the other party use not just a skill but even a domain-type special skill. Just as I thought. He never had any plans to take my attack. No wonder he agreed to my request so easily. Ethan had already doubted that the assassin would do something like this. However, he was not disappointed because, this is what I wanted exactly. 221, going all out. 2. Ethan was not a fool when the other person had already agreed to his request to receive his full-powered attack head-on. Thus, from the beginning, Ethan had prepared a plan to kill the assassin. Is that so? Hearing the assassin's mocking words, Ethan remained calm as he moved to the next step of his plan. Take this. Sky-shattering sword art, Skybreaker / Swish Swish. He quickly swung his sword 2 times, releasing 2 sword waves that paled in comparison to Ethan's previous attack. In front of my speed, these attacks are useless. Despite the sword waves looking weaker, Shadow Kane didn't dare to take them head-on as he easily dodged them with his speed. As I expected, he is not daring to take my attacks. Seeing that the assassin was dodging the sword waves, Ethan smiled in his head. Is that so? Can you take them all? At the same time, Ethan didn't forget to taunt the assassin as he released more and more Skybreaker slashes. They didn't consume much spirit essence, and if he wanted, Ethan could release them all day long. Thus, Ethan was not worried about consumption. Swish swoosh, Ethan released the sword waves one after another, whereas the assassin easily dodged, hoping that Ethan would deplete all his spirit essence. Thank you for giving me enough time to charge my true trump card. It is time to put an end to this. Ethan suddenly stopped releasing the sword waves, creating a bad premonition in the assassin's heart. What is he planning? He charged his true trump card. So far, although Ethan's words seemed exaggerated to the assassin, there was some truth to them. Hence, when he heard Ethan's confident words and saw his excited face, the assassin felt that Ethan might really have a trump card that was even more powerful than the sharp blood blade he released earlier. I think there is no need to play this dangerous game with this brat anymore. I will just leave this abyssal blood domain and let his skills go on cooldown on their own. Soon, the assassin quickly thought to leave the abyssal blood domain. If Ethan chased after him, the assassin could easily kill him because, without suppression from the domain, the assassin would recover his full strength. Conversely, if Ethan didn't leave the domain, after some time, the skills would enter into a cooldown anyway, where Ethan would become even weaker than usual and be a sitting duck waiting to be killed by the assassin. Time to leave. With that thought in mind, the assassin no longer wasted any time and turned to leave the abyssal blood domain before Ethan could conjure his so-called most powerful trump card. This is it, he took the bait. After witnessing how the assassin went back on his word and dodged his horizon annihilation and how he kept dodging the sword waves despite having the ability to destroy them, Ethan knew that the assassin was actually a coward who didn't like to take any unnecessary risks. So, Ethan was sure that mentioning an ultimate trump card would make the assassin leave the abyssal blood domain, which was currently suppressing his battle prowess by 10%. Hence, he had already prepared for the assassin attempting to leave the abyssal blood domain, and the moment he noticed that the assassin was trying to leave, he executed the move he had prepared. Earth Essence Integration Technique, Earth Walls. Just when the assassin was about to leave the domain, layers upon layers of earth walls appeared. It was another perfection stage cultivation technique that Ethan had upgraded during his 10-minute preparation period before the assassin arrived. Boom boom, the assassin was not expecting the earth walls and collided with them. First, he was able to destroy the first couple of earth walls easily, however, after the fifth wall, the assassin's speed slowed down, and he started struggling a bit. Although the Golden Core Realm Cultivator could counter the Perfection Stage cultivation techniques, it was not easy for him to do that. He had to use his full power to counter them. Moreover, Ethan was not expecting the assassin to be trapped by the earth walls, it was just to slow him down before he released his so-called ultimate trump card. Now, let's decrease his speed even further. Before the assassin could do anything, Ethan quickly used another move, Earth Essence Integration Technique, Quicksand. Except for the ground beneath Ethan's feet, the entire abyssal blood domain had turned into quicksand, which started pulling the assassin down. The more the assassin struggled, the more he was being pulled, however, he was still able to walk but slowly. Now, it is time for my final move. Seeing that the assassin who was proud of his speed had finally lost it, Ethan was ready to execute the last step of his plan. Sky-shattering sword art, Tempest of the Thousand Blades. This time, Ethan used a large-scale attack that covered the entire abyssal blood domain. Even if the assassin pulled out some trump card, he wouldn't be able to escape the attack. Swish swish, with a powerful swing of his blood sword, Ethan released 1,000 blood-colored sharp wind blades at the assassin who was trying to leave the abyssal blood domain through the quicksand. Although these 1,000 blood-colored wind blades were half as powerful as the previous single wind blade, There were 1,000 of them, making Ethan confident in taking down the assassin. Damn it, how did I end up in such a situation? Looking at the blood-colored wind blades that were coming towards him, the assassin gritted his teeth. Everything happened so quickly that the assassin didn't understand how he ended up in his current situation where he couldn't dodge the incoming blood blades. Brat, you are really something. You got me for the second time where I can't dodge your attacks anymore. Earlier, Ethan had successfully launched his blazing sun palm on the assassin and now, he was successful again. So, the assassin could not help but praise Ethan. However, the assassin's intentions to kill Ethan increased even more. It is not just you who has a rank 5 sword. I got one too. Since he could no longer dodge the incoming blood blades, the assassin decided to take them head on. Silent Reaper slashes swish. As soon as he finished his words, a rank 5 black sword appeared in the assassin's hand and he used it to cut the incoming blood blades in half. Clang swish swish, the assassin swung his sword at an incredible speed that Ethan saw the after images of it as the blood blades were easily cut into halves by the assassin with his black sword. Damn it, it is really not easy to kill a mid-level golden core realm cultivator. Ethan clenched his fists in disappointment as he finally realized that it was not easy to kill the gold-ranked assassin in front of him. But, let's not give up. As he was observing the assassin, Ethan got an idea and without wasting any time, he used another sword move. Sky-shattering sword art, horizon annihilation. Amidst the hundreds of blood blades, Ethan released a new and powerful blood blade at the assassin, who was busy dealing with the old blood blades. Damn it, he is not giving me any time. Looking at the huge blood blade, the assassin cursed under his breath. In Ethan's eyes, the assassin seemed calm. However, only the assassin knew that he was using his golden essence to destroy the incoming blood blades. Golden essence is also called the condensed spirit essence that is exclusive to the golden core realm cultivators. The Foundation Establishment realm cultivators use spirit essence as fuel to execute their cultivation techniques, while the golden core realm cultivators use golden essence. The assassin never in his wildest dreams expected a Foundation Establishment realm cultivator would push him to this extent, but he was thinking of the rewards he would get after killing his target. Let's take care of the big one. Calming himself, he focused on the major problem that was coming towards him. After taking care of nearly 300 or 400 small blood blades, the assassin understood that getting hit by them wouldn't kill him, but he would receive multiple small injuries. As for the powerful blood blade, the assassin feared that if he didn't stop it, he would be seriously injured or he might even die. So, he decided to block the powerful blood blade before cutting the remaining sharp blood blades, while choosing to take the cuts from the small blood blades. Clang! Soon, the huge blood blade reached the assassin, and as he planned, the assassin used his sword to block it, creating a loud metallic sound. It is very strong. I did the right thing by dodging it earlier. Only upon collision did the assassin realize that the huge blood blade was more powerful than he expected. Also, 5 seconds is not enough to deal with it. I need at least 10 seconds. Gritting his teeth, the assassin used his full strength to block the powerful blood blade and slowly started cutting it into 2 halves. Swish. Swoosh. Slash. Meanwhile, the remaining small but sharp blood blades landed on the assassin's body. If it was anyone below the golden core realm, they would have been turned into pieces. However, the assassin was a golden core realm cultivator and a very strong one at that. All those small blood blades only left small cuts on the assassin, making him start bleeding. Boom! By the time the assassin successfully destroyed the powerful blood blade, his body was covered with many cuts, from which blood was flowing out. Clang! Swish! Even after taking care of the powerful blood blade, the assassin didn't get any time to breathe as he started taking care of the smaller blood blades. That brat! Did he finally run out of trump cards? Or did he deplete all his spirit essence? Of course, the assassin always kept an eye on Ethan because he was worried about what kind of trump card Ethan could use next. However, seeing that Ethan remained silent without moving from his position, the assassin thought he might have run out of trump cards or his spirit essence. From the very beginning, Ethan was using perfection stage cultivation techniques, and a lot of them. Even though they consumed very little spirit essence, Ethan had already used multiple cultivation techniques multiple times. So, the assassin guessed that Ethan might have run out of spirit essence. Moreover, Ethan looked very tired with a pale face, making the assassin conclude that once he took care of his obstacles, Ethan would be a sitting duck for him. Time continued to pass, and in less than 30 seconds, the assassin had successfully taken care of all the small blood blades. Silent Reaper Fist. At the same time, he punched the ground, making all the loose sand fly away and returning the ground to its original state. Brat, I have had enough of your trump cards. Just tell me where the unexp. What the hell is happening? Why am I bleeding this much? Once he took care of everything, he was about to mock Ethan when he felt something was wrong with his bleeding. Although it was not his first time getting injuries, the bleeding this time was much more excessive than usual. Swoosh. All the enemies within the abyssal blood domain will have their bleeding intensified. The enemy's blood falling onto the abyssal blood domain will be either converted into spirit essence for the user or into healing energy to heal his injuries, depending on the user's requirement. On the other hand, Ethan smiled as he looked at the two notifications that appeared in front of him. It's been more than a minute since he was enjoying the healing effect and replenishment effect of his abyssal blood domain using the assassin's blood. It must be because it is a golden core realm cultivator's blood. Both the healing effect and the replenishment effect are quite powerful. In less than 1.5 minutes, Ethan's injuries were almost healed, and his spirit essence was also replenished. In short, he returned to his peak condition, whereas the assassin's condition was worsening. As expected of a special skill, I should get more skills like this. He had to spend 5 million life points, and now, after personally experiencing the effects of the abyssal blood domain, Ethan felt it was completely worth it, and he wanted more such special skills. What did you do to me? Seeing how Ethan returned to his peak condition, whereas his own condition was worsening with each passing second, the assassin was shocked. I wonder what will happen if I activate my special talent. Ethan didn't bother to reply to the assassin as he felt he could use his current situation to test his special talent, which was the only thing he hadn't used yet. During this combat, Ethan used all his cultivation techniques and skills and got an understanding of everything in his arsenal except for the special talent, blood devouring. Moreover, the current situation was quite ideal for testing as his opponent was covered in blood. Blood devouring. Once he made up his mind, Ethan no longer wasted any time and activated it. Sweesh. In the next second, the assassin felt a sharp pain followed by his blood being sucked out of his body by some mysterious force and flying toward Ethan. What are you doing? What kind of evil monster are you? The assassin was scared as he looked at Ethan, who was covered in his blood, making him look like a blood god. I have to escape from here. Although his head was filled with many questions regarding Ethan, nothing was more important than his life. Enduring the unbearable pain from having his blood forcibly drawn out of his body, the assassin took out a golden talisman from his storage ring. The exit is in that direction. As soon as he took out the golden talisman, the assassin looked in the direction of the entrance/exit of the Berserk Beast realm and tore the talisman. Brat, I will make sure to kill you at any cost. With vengeful eyes, the assassin coldly spoke to Ethan, and right in front of Ethan's eyes, the assassin turned into tiny golden particles and disappeared. Huh? For that, you need to get out of here alive, right? Ethan raised his brows for a moment, however, he was not worried much about it as he had already decided the assassin's fate the moment he used so many trump cards in front of him. Sweesh. Finally. I may be running away now, however, I will definitely get back at you for what you did to me today. The assassin appeared close to the exit of the Berserk Beast realm, and upon looking at the exit, he felt excited. Earlier, he used the Golden Escape Talisman, which could teleport the user up to 100 kilometers in an instant in the direction they were looking. However, the maximum the assassin could teleport within a secret realm was only to the exit, as they had to personally walk out of the exit. It was because he could finally escape from a monster who nearly killed him despite having only the cultivation of the perfect foundation realm. I will make sure the entire Eternal Shadow Guild comes after you. I will make sure you never have a single day of peace in your life. I know all about you. I will kill your parents right in front of your eyes. Now, no one can save you, even the Green Fire sect will give up on you when they know you have become the sole target of my Eternal Shadow Guild. With each step he took towards the exit, the assassin angrily swore to take revenge on Ethan for reducing him to his current state. Sweesh. Huh. Just as the assassin tried to pass through the cave-like gateway of the Berserk Beast realm to leave the secret realm, he was stopped by an invisible barrier. What? What's happening? Why can't I leave the secret realm? What? Why can't I leave the secret realm? What's happening? Sensing an invisible barrier that was stopping him from leaving, Shadow Kane became anxious. That's right. How can he not be anxious when he just escaped from a monstrous young man that nearly got him killed? Don't tell me that evil brat has something to do with this barrier that is stopping me from leaving the secret realm. Regarding the barrier, the first thing that came to the assassin's head was Ethan. After witnessing the things Ethan did, the assassin unconsciously thought about Ethan and thought he had something to do with the barrier. When did he create the barrier? Just a couple of days ago, the cultivators from the sect were freely entering and leaving without any problem. While waiting for Ethan for the past week, the assassin was always keeping an eye on the entrance. So, he knew there was no such barrier and there was no way Ethan placed the barrier today because the moment he sensed Ethan, the assassin rushed to him. That's not the issue. The main issue is, I stopped tending to my injuries. The bleeding from his cuts was no longer as excessive as when he was in the abyssal blood domain, making the assassin heave a sigh of relief. However, the assassin had already lost a lot of blood, putting him into a weakened condition. Originally, he thought of leaving the Berserk Beast realm before tending to his injuries. However, since he was unable to exit the secret realm, he could do the next best thing possible, which was to heal himself and recover his strength. I don't think that brat will come searching for me, and even if he did, I can kill him as long as I recover half of my strength. The reason why the assassin was confident that Ethan wouldn't come looking for him was because he believed Ethan's skill, especially the domain type skill, would be entering a cooldown period of at least 1 day. Without that domain type skill, I can easily kill him. Although he doubted his own words, the assassin felt a little bit better, muttering to himself. With these thoughts in his head, the assassin returned to his previous hiding spot to heal and recover. At Ethan's location. Sweesh. Just like the assassin thought, after a few moments of his disappearance, Ethan's giant body returned to normal. The flaming python rage has entered into a cooldown. The user can use it only after 1 day. The 5-minute time period for the skill had been completed, and it entered into a cooldown. Sweesh. Followed by the flaming python rage, the abyssal blood domain also started flickering between red and brown before returning to normal. The abyssal blood domain has entered into a cooldown. The user can use it only after 1 day. It had also entered into a cooldown of 1 day. I made a level 6 golden core realm cultivator run away from me. On the other hand, Ethan was not worried much about his skills falling into cooldown. Instead, he was feeling excited about his current achievement. Until now, whenever he encountered a stronger opponent, if he had no choice, he would just die. However, for the first time, a golden core realm cultivator who was also a gold-ranked assassin from the Eternal Shadow Guild was afraid of him and ran away in fear. So, how could he not feel excited about it? I still have to take care of him. After celebrating for a while, Ethan decided to take care of the assassin who had escaped. "Primer, did you seal off the entrance?" Ethan asked the tiny lion spirit, which proudly nodded its head and said, "I sealed the entrance even before Master Kai started fighting that assassin." Good. The reason why Ethan was confident that the assassin wouldn't be escaping from him was because of Primer, the natural spirit of the Berserk Beast realm. As a natural spirit of the realm, Primer could cast a barrier on the secret realm's gate and stop anyone from entering or leaving the secret realm. Of course, due to its current state, there were mainly two limitations for Primer in doing so. Firstly, the lion spirit couldn't keep the barrier for more than 6 hours. And secondly, any nascent soul realm cultivators could easily break the barrier, and even the perfected golden core realm cultivators could destroy it if they used their full-powered attacks back to back. Now, let's go and take care of him. Despite using up all his powerful skills, Ethan was still confident in killing the assassin, and even if he wasn't, he would still try his best to kill him at any cost. That assassin knew too much about him, and there was no way Ethan would let him live another day. "Master Kai, follow me." Thanks to the natural spirit, there was no hiding spot for the assassin. Under the guidance of Primer, in less than 20 minutes, Ethan reached the assassin's hideout, where he was currently busy recovering his strength through pills and other cultivation resources. "Master, that assassin is currently recovering his strength in that cave, however, he is on full alert." Pointing at the cave in the distance, Primer gave all the information that Ethan needed. "Really? It's even better." Ethan nodded his head in understanding as he slowly walked into the cave. Sitting in a dark cave, bleeding like a dying dog, this is the great assassin who swore to make my life hell. As soon as he entered the cave, Ethan used his taunting skills on the assassin. "Why you? You dared to come to me? Are you that eager to die?" Although he was furious with Ethan's words, the assassin controlled himself as he quickly checked Ethan through his senses. As I expected, his skills must have entered a cooldown. The assassin compared the current Ethan with the Ethan from the Abyssal Blood domain. There was a drastic change now. He looked weak compared to before, making the assassin feel some hope of killing his target. But, he is not an idiot who would come here to die in my hands. However, after his earlier fight with Ethan, the assassin knew that the young man in front of him was very intelligent and knew how to play mind games with his opponents. Even now, he has come here with some plan in mind, however, I don't know what it is. The assassin wanted to kill Ethan, however, he was worried about what crooked plan Ethan had come up with now. "I have an offer for you." As the assassin fell into his dilemma, Ethan's voice resounded in the cave as he continued, "I will stand here without moving. Use your strongest. *CK your offer. Let's not think much and kill him." The assassin had zero interest in Ethan's offer. So, even before Ethan could finish his words, the assassin decided to stop thinking much and kill Ethan. If he failed, he would die, but if he succeeded, his target would die, which was what Shadow Kane wanted. Anyway, the barrier was closed, and according to the assassin, it was related to the brat he was trying to kill. So, the only way for him to leave the Berserk Beast realm was by killing the target. Hence, he used his shadow steps to move like a shadow and appeared beside Ethan in no time with eyes full of hope. Pucci. Before Ethan could react, Shadow Kane pierced his black sword into Ethan's heart. Pucci. Brat, go to hell. Kaka. Pulling out his sword from Ethan's heart, Shadow Kane kicked Ethan's body away as he shouted out loud, venting all his frustration from earlier. "I did it! I killed that! Pucci." However, before Shadow Kane could celebrate his achievement, an invisible sword pierced through his heart out of nowhere. What just happened? With an unbelievable look, Shadow Kane's body fell beside Ethan's corpse, which had a smile even in death. "Thank you for killing me. Now, you can go to hell." "Why you? Suddenly, Ethan's voice echoed in the assassin's head, shocking him. Compared to his death, that smile on Ethan's face made Shadow Kane angrier. However, there was nothing he could do about it, as he could not even lift his finger, not to mention move his body. Is this what they call annoying someone to death? This was the last thought in Shadow Kane's head as he fell into an eternal sleep. In the soul realm. Ding. The host has been killed and triggered the godly revival ability. Ding. The host will enter the soul realm for a mandatory 1-hour revival period. Ding. The host has received a death allowance of 5,084 life points. Available life points, 6.2 million life points. Ding. Please wait while the options on the interface of the killer's stats are generated. As soon as his consciousness returned, Ethan received a series of system notifications. I intended to bait him into using his most powerful attack to kill me, however, he went for the deadly strike on his own. Ethan didn't bother to check the system notifications. Instead, he was smiling at being killed by the assassin without putting much effort. That's right. Ethan smiled because he got what he wanted. Originally, Ethan was worried the assassin might have developed a trauma after their initial battle and wouldn't dare to attack him anymore. So, Ethan thought he had to use all his taunting skills to trigger the assassin to the point where the assassin wouldn't care about his own life anymore and only wanted to kill Ethan. However, who would have thought that the assassin was much bolder than Ethan expected? As soon as he heard Ethan's first taunt, he was triggered to the point where he decided to go for the direct kill. Just as he finished his first thought, Ethan received another series of system notifications, making him smile. Ding. The host has licked the killer's blood. Ding. The host meets the requirements and his special skill Death Echo has been triggered. Ding. The host's killer will receive the same attack that the host has been killed with. Ding. The killer has been successfully killed. No matter how injured that assassin was, he was still a golden core cultivator and even a gold-ranked assassin. Without my abyssal blood domain and flaming python rage, it is almost impossible to kill him. The reason Ethan went to the assassin was to kill him. However, he knew that it was impossible to kill the assassin within a short time. Moreover, the natural spirit couldn't keep the secret realm sealed for long, and Ethan was worried that if the Green Fire sect noticed the barrier at the gateway of the secret realm, they might destroy it. Hence, Ethan wanted to kill the assassin in the shortest time possible, and the only possible way was his special skill, Death Echo. Yes. Ethan finally decided to make use of the special skill Death Echo he got from the demonic Blood Bat King. Since he was already injured, I knew my Death Echo wouldn't have any problem in killing him. Some might think that Ethan could have used the skill from the beginning without going through all the trouble of using the skills and cultivation techniques. However, Ethan was worried about one thing: what if his Death Echo couldn't kill the assassin just because he was one realm higher than him? That's right. According to the information on Death Echo, the final attack that killed the user would be reflected back at the killer. However, if the killer was much stronger than the user, wouldn't he be able to survive his own attack, no matter how deadly it was? That was why Ethan went through all the trouble not just to severely injure the assassin but also to plant an image in his mind that if he wanted to kill Ethan, he had to use his full-powered attack. And he was successful in executing his plan. He got killed with a full-powered attack and at the same time, reflected the same move at the assassin, who was yet to recover from his previous injuries. If I wanted to kill him, I have other ways. However, I don't want to receive another killer's mark, at least not from a gold-ranked assassin. Just the killer's mark from killing Shadow B, who was a silver-ranked assassin, had left its traces on his soul. So, Ethan guessed that killing a gold-rank assassin might directly leave the killer's mark on his soul. If he was a corpse, the killer's mark couldn't leave traces on his soul, as he would be revived with a new body. According to the Eternal Shadow Guild, it would seem like mutual killing, and no assassin would come after him anymore for their fallen guild member. As for the other ways he mentioned, 1. He could have spent 500,000 life points to instantly break through to the Golden Core realm. A/N, he spent 1 life point to keep the options in the interface of the killer's stats even though it's been a week. 2. He could use the 2 primordial beast blood drops to summon 2 powerful rank 5 ancient beasts, which could easily take care of a level 6 Golden Core realm cultivator like the assassin. Third, it was not about killing the assassin, instead, he could just exit the Berserk Beast realm with the thought using his permit tattoo and temporarily escape from the assassin. However, he had no plans of escaping as he had long decided to kill the assassin. Anyway, thanks to the assassin, I got a full understanding of my battle prowess, and as long as I break through to the Golden Core realm, I will be invincible below the nascent soul realm. The earlier fight had helped him a lot, and he was confident about his battle prowess. Ding. The host's special talent I am your killer has been triggered by successfully killing his killer. Ding. The host has received 9,000 life points. Ding. The host has received 1,000 years of lifespan. Ding. The host's mastery of the shadow steps has been greatly increased. Amidst his thoughts, another set of system notifications appeared in front of him, making him smile wider. This is called making full use of the death echo. Another one of the reasons why Ethan wanted the assassin to kill him using death echo was because of the additional rewards he could get by triggering I am your killer. I've received such a high lifespan as a reward. Ethan was pleasantly surprised and hurriedly checked the information on the assassin and was shocked to see something in the killer's profile. He got such a good cultivation talent. Ethan could not see the profile of other cultivators, however, once he gets killed by them, the system provides the main information about them and provides it to him. After seeing some nice rewards he got from the special talent I am your killer, Ethan was curious about the assassin's profile. Even the godly lifespan card, small, can bless him between 1,000 years of lifespan, whereas he got 1,000 years of lifespan for killing the assassin. So, it was not a small reward for Ethan. He got such a good cultivation talent. The moment he saw the assassin's profile, Ethan's eyes lit up. Ding. Killer's name, Shadow Cane. Strength, level 6 Golden Core realm. Lifespan, 1000/10,000 years. Skills, Silent Reaper / Great Completion, Silent Reaper Fist, Great Completion, Shadow Steps, Great Completion, and so on. Cultivation Talent, Longevity Physique, increases the lifespan of the cultivator by 8,000 years. The cultivation talent of the assassin increases the lifespan of the cultivator by 8,000 years. So, of course, it was a good cultivation talent. For a cultivator, lifespan was very important because even with an average talent, he could make breakthroughs to the higher realm. If this assassin was careful and just cultivated, it wouldn't be an issue for him to break through to the nascent soul realm or even a higher realm. A chi refining cultivator has a lifespan of around 100 years. A foundation establishment realm cultivator has 250 years of lifespan. A Golden Core realm cultivator has 4 times the lifespan of the foundation establishment realm cultivator, which was 1,000 years. As for the nascent soul realm, it is believed to be around 10,000 years. So, when he saw that the assassin's talent provided him with 8,000 years from the beginning, he had no worries about reaching the nascent soul realm in his cultivation journey. But, it's a sad thing that he encountered me. Ethan chuckled and excitedly waited for the interface of the killer's stats to update as he hoped, I can't wait to get that cultivation talent. He had zero doubts that the cultivation talent would appear on the interface of the killer's stats because the assassin only had 1 talent. Moreover, even if his killer had multiple talents, Ethan knew that this talent would appear on the interface. According to the system, only the options that are useful or beneficial to the host will appear. So, for Ethan, a talent that gives him lifespan was more important than anything else. Time continued to pass, and soon, Ethan received the system notification that he was eagerly waiting for. Ding. The options of the interface of the killer's stats have been updated. Please check. Check. Without wasting any time, he checked it, and soon, the interface appeared. Ding. Interface of killer's stats. 1. Cultivation Level 2 Golden Core Realm, 5.5 million life points. 2. Cultivation Technique Silent Reaper / Great Completion Stage, 2000 life points. 3. Inventory Last Breath Totem, 1 million life points. 4. Inventory Level 6 Golden Core, 6 million life points. 5. Cultivation Talent Longevity Physique, 100,000 life points. Cultivation Talent is a must-buy. Since he was waiting for the Cultivation Talent, Ethan's eyes directly focused on it, and he directly bought it without thinking much. Ding. The host has spent 100,000 life points and bought the Cultivation Talent Longevity Physique. Even if it was 1 million, Ethan would have bought the Cultivation Talent, not to mention, it was only 100,000 life points. As a Cultivation Talent, it increases 8,000 years of lifespan. However, what if I upgrade it into a special talent? This was the reason why Ethan was especially excited about this Cultivation Talent. However, to do that, I have to wait until I revive. Only after purchasing the Cultivation Talent did Ethan focus on the other options on the interface of the killer's stats. Although I have enough cultivation techniques, buying another powerful one at such a cheap price is definitely worth it. Compared to the godly cultivation insight, buying the cultivation techniques from the interface was 50% cheaper. Moreover, Ethan had seen how powerful the sword technique was, and he felt that spending just 2,000 life points to get the assassin's mastery was totally worth it. He focused on it and directly bought it without thinking much. Ding. The host has spent 2,000 life points and bought the cultivation technique. What? There is a last breath totem in the inventory. The third option pleasantly surprised Ethan because he was not expecting it. I should buy, no, wait. However, he suddenly suppressed his excitement. I have always been curious about what would happen if I bought the items from the cultivator. So far, Ethan had been buying his killer's stats. However, he had always been curious about whether the system was stealing the items from his killer's possession or creating a new one. Although he already had a rough idea of what's actually happening, Ethan wanted to get the confirmation today. Let's buy these items after I revive and see what would happen to the items if I buy from the inventory. With that thought in mind, Ethan decided to buy the last breath totem after his revival. Looks like I can finally get an answer to it today. Ethan was looking forward to that and checked the next option, which was, surprisingly, another inventory. Is it because he was a Golden Core Realm cultivator? From Ethan's understanding of the interface of the killer's stats, the more powerful his killer is, the more options will appear in the interface. A Chi Refining Realm killer provides him with 3 options in the interface of the killer's stats, a Foundation Establishment killer gives 4, and a Golden Core killer gives 5 options. However, it was his first time seeing 2 identical options appear in the interface, making Ethan conclude that it must be related to the Golden Core Realm cultivator. Also, is that a real Golden Core? Ethan became more curious and patiently waited for his revival time to come to an end. Ding. The host has successfully completed his mandatory waiting time. Please select where you want to revive. Death point. Soon, Ethan revived in the same cave he was killed in, and he hurriedly started working. It's time to get the answer regarding how the interface of the killer's stats works.